There's a show in town, it's going down. Every week we're back on solid ground. Steel toe slipping, but we're gripping. Got the tea to spill, it's always flipping. From April's scrim to Aaron's glee. Oh, this drama's just a spree. Polydrama, legal trauma. Another win, oh, that's the karma. This little piggy went to YouTube. This little piggy's on Rumble now. This little piggy's begging for dollars. And this little piggy's breaking down. Wow! Every week we'll recap it slow. Tune in for this little piggy show. From revenge porn to felony, it's a circus, can't you see? The toe is bent, the goal is spent. His empire crumbles, all hell sent. April's playlist on repeat. Aaron's lies we can't defeat. The countdown's on, it won't take long to see this piggy squeal his song. This little piggy went to YouTube. This little piggy's on Rumble now. This little piggy's begging for dollars. And this little piggy's breaking down. Wow! Every week we'll recap it slow. Tune in for this little piggy show. Oh, this little piggy ain't missing a thing. Just sit back, laugh, and watch the king.
Welcome to This Little Piggy, a weekly roundtable discussion about the Steel Toe Morning Show and its sperm breath host, Aaron Imholt. I am Karl from Moody's podcast, and this week, my guests are, you know him, you love him, coming in live from Atlantic City from Nobody Likes Onions. Patrick Melton is here. What's up, Patrick?
Hello. Sorry for the bad audio from me and Rocco today. We're in the same room. It's going to be rough.
Sounds great to me. Also, coming in from Atlantic City, you know him from Be Dabbling Live. You know him from Tukey Soup. That's right, Tukey is here.
Yay! Oh, it's fantastic. Thank you for having me, Karl.
Moody's here as well. All right, guys, so I wanted to get into a few things today. What's up, Moody? Good to see you, buddy.
I'll go fuck myself, Karl. Is that what you want?
No, you are an all-star this week. You came up big in the world of Steel Toe, and I really want to today, I want to break down this boxing coach video and then go through Aaron's cope of it.
I haven't seen it. I'm excited about this.
Okay, good. I have some timestamps and things. I want to go through it because Aaron's reaction is crazy. He does this thing where he doesn't think anyone's going to go and watch the video. He just pretend that something different happened in the video than what actually happened. So we're going to break all of that down. I got some other things I want to talk about. But first, because I feel like we could do this because Aaron covered it on his show, we got to talk about this MLC event. This MLC event that is officially canceled, Kill Kevin, is not happening at the beer hall. And Chad goes on his show. I mean, I don't even know how he comes up with this. He sent me an email saying it was all my fault and all Patrick Melton's fault. He went on his show and just said it was all me that made this happen. I have never told anyone not to go to the show. I never told anyone to call the venue.
Yeah, but you didn't tell anyone to not call the venue.
Yes, it was my responsibility. Because as you know, when you tell the internet to do something, they totally go along with that. They never just like fuck with you.
In both of you.
Well, and I sent him an email back. He read it on his show. I sent him an email back and said, listen, I have friends and family who bought tickets for this stupid show. I want it to happen. We all want it to happen. No one was trying to get it canceled. No one was happy that it was canceled. It kind of sucks.
It's funny as this is, it's way shorter lived than 3 hours of Chad and Kevin trying to entertain a live crowd.
Yes, I agree. And no one goes like what I love about Chad's arc. And I heard you guys on the show before this talking about his redemption arc has come to a completion here. No one goes from villain to victim faster than Chad Zubak.
Yes.
The guy's on top of the world, and he's crushing all the dorks.
Show you how it's done, you losers.
Yes.
It's not that hard.
And then all of a sudden, he doesn't communicate with Kevin very well, and the show gets canceled, and his roadcaster dies, and he's back to being a worthless alcoholic who can't help himself.
Honestly, I think the whole problem stems back to the thing I said in the very beginning. None of these guys are actual friends, and they don't trust each other. And that's why it can never fundamentally work. As soon as it got closer, Kevin started going like, all right, hold on. Who did I trust to do this? What's going on? And then I love Chad's reaction to all Kevin's questions is like, yeah, call him. I'd like to know the answers to these questions too. I'd love to know what's going on.
So I have a comment about that because Chad accepted zero responsibility for this thing not happening. The show's a complete failure, and he goes, it wasn't my fault at all. He couldn't even fathom that maybe there's something that he did. I'll give one example of why this is Chad's fault, and Chad should take full responsibility. That meeting that they had on the air this week, that was amazing, between Kevin and Chad. That should have happened a month ago.
Off
And
air.
offline a month ago. And the reason why it didn't is because Chad's been blocked on Kevin's phone for 3 years. And the reason for that is because Chad got mad at Kevin and threatened Kevin's family. And Kevin's like, I don't want to read these text messages anymore, and blocked him. So do you see, Chad, why this is your fault because you're such a fuck up and a screw up that people don't even want to communicate with you, and now you go into business with them and you can't even have a call or a text thread?
Also,
His entire mindset around the event was wrong. Like he was the event planner, right? He hates that term, but he was the one planning the event,
It's just a
organizing
gig.
it. And the language he uses around it is, I was told to sell 60 tickets and I did that. So my part is done. And you could see from like the back and forth text that Blade released, no one's been talking for a month. Like he's like, job done. I sold the tickets. Event can happen.
You got the lanyards made.
and Chad does the thing too. Again, like Aaron does. Like, I'm not trying. We're not even trying. Like, this is very low key. But the minute anything goes right, they're gonna tell you like, we're running a real event. Like, we're gonna show you how easy this is. Melton can't do it. It's like, you've got to make up your mind when something fails. Chad said himself, he's worked very hard on this.
Right. Yeah.
Out of his mouth, he's like, I'm not Melton. We're doing the bare minimum of what we have to do. Yeah, you did the bare minimum, and now you don't have an event. Like,
and Blade is pissed about this. I mean, Blade was going to put more work into this than anyone.
yes.
He should be. He's the only one who tried.
Yeah.
Right. He would have made it happen. I don't know how great it would have been. I mean, he came out and said he was going to do it to show guys like me how to put on a live event. So I was looking forward to learning something. But then I saw a clip of Blade today saying that maybe it was going to suck. I don't know. We never even got a chance to try. I was like, oh,
Right.
Where did that confidence go? That's weird.
And Chad's whole thing a month ago getting Stuttering John's gigs canceled. He was walking around saying, John's going to have a real problem if he's going to try to do comedy around here because this is my stump. This is my territory.
Yep.
And Chad was very proud to get Stuttering John's gig canceled. And then yesterday he puts out a tweet like, Karl, Melton, and Tukey getting gigs canceled. This is going to be a problem going forward in comedy. These guys are bullies, shutting down gigs. Like, what's going on? And it's like, you're the mugshot. Your whole brand is like, hey, let's fuck around. Let's see what we can do. It's like, okay.
Yeah, but not to them. You're not supposed to do it to the mud shark. That's against the rules.
Yeah, it's like when Howard Stern, they played a prank on him like Richard Christie did. And Howard Stern got so pissed. He's like, you don't prank me. I do the pranking around here on this show. It's like he plays by different rules than everyone else. So Chad goes on a show today, and I was checking in on that a little bit because he said he has sources, reliable people that always tell him the truth, who have messaged him and said that Ray had something to do with this show getting canceled. He's
Finally,
literally
the
blamed.
truth comes out.
He's literally blamed everyone there is to blame. Ray DeVito was getting this show canceled now.
Chad, yeah. Well, yesterday somebody told him in his chat that Melton was sniping. I was literally sleeping at the Borgata when the
Right.
show was on, and somebody told him a sniping. Yeah, of course he is. Like, that's what Melton does. Like, of course he's
He's out
sniping
of ideas.
Yeah.
Well, didn't Chad also say that he wanted to call Aaron's gym
Today?
Did he really? I didn't see
Yeah.
that. What an asshole.
He said it was only because I want to promote their business.
Yeah. Hurt people hurt people.
That's true, yes. He also said if you want to get the messages and the emails that obviously prove that it was me and Melton that got the show canceled, then just message the owner and ask him for it.
He said, call the owner.
Call the owner. The thing he told us not to do.
Right.
No, the show's off. Go harass them all you want. I don't
Yeah,
give a
just
shit.
go push redial, Karl.
Oh, yeah, good point. Well, that was the other thing, too. So Chad, he's trying this new thing where he's calling other people liars. It's not going to work out for him because he's so bad at this kind of thing. He went on his show and he said, I can prove it. I have the messages that show that it was WATP fans and Nobody Likes Onion fans, and they're the ones who got this all shut down. I could prove it. I have the messages. He forwarded them to me.
I believe that.
Well,
Maybe.
then
Like, I believe that NLO fans and WATP fans were messing with him.
I don't think so because an hour later, he went and got his vodka and he's getting drunk and he goes on Kevin's show and he goes, yeah, there was one message of a guy who likes NLO and then another guy said Stuttering John was going to be there. So then it turned into 2 messages and one of them was about Stuttering John showing up.
This reminds me of Aaron Emholt saying that dozens of people sent messages about him beating his kids, and then the next week he said, I asked him, like, what was it? And they told me, like, yeah, somebody sent an email. And it's like, oh, so last week when you were saying dozens of people sent emails, you were talking about your ass? Because it's what I said, Karl. Like, we have bigger fan bases than Chad, but if you told me dozens of people were fucking with this event, I don't believe you. Like, I just don't. I do think there are probably 5 or 10 people who sent emails, or a couple people who maybe called. And again, us saying don't do that would just put the idea in trolls' heads. But it's not our responsibility to do that. But like, there's no way dozens of people or 20 people or 30 people are fucking, like, it's just, that's not what happens. I get hate from the other groups and it's nowhere near 10 people. So I don't believe it just because we have a bigger audience that it's
correct. So when to go back to Steel Toe, because yeah, I have this in my notes to talk about today. This whole thing, him getting suspended from USA Boxing, it started with a mass email campaign. It's like, oh, is that all you guys got? Everyone's sending emails to try to get me barred from this thing. And now it's been confirmed that it was a complaint that they received. And as a precaution, they have to suspend him while they look into it.
This was going to be cleared up in 2 days, 2 weeks
yes. ago. Yeah, I saw Moody. I saw you posted that it's 2 to 4 months for the appeals process.
It's 2 to 4 months to appeal a failed background screening. But he's said so much different things about what has happened here. Is it a complaint? Because if it's a complaint, the process for that is different to a finding of a failed background screening.
Right.
Like
Scott said it's a background check that failed.
Right. So it's like there's all sorts of different avenues that you could go down, but the shortest one is to overturn the temporary suspension, which is a $1,500 fee, non-refundable to an arbitrator. That's the only way to overturn the temporary suspension. Otherwise, he needs to wait for the conclusion of the investigation, which takes a bit, and then he can appeal that.
Okay, we're going to get into that because he lies about that in this video that we're going to show. Let me just finish up on some AC stuff, because I have to tell you, I don't know if you're even realizing this, but you guys caused all of this to happen.
What?
Atlantic City was not going to be a thing this year until Patrick Melton and Rocco said, hey, let's go to Atlantic City for the Super Bowl again. Like, yeah, that'd be fun. And then all of a sudden Chad's like, yeah, then we'll go, and then they'll go. And all of a sudden everyone's fucking converging again.
Well, the beauty of it is Chad's like, well, like, no one wants to go there and watch them play poker. And it's like, yeah, we didn't tell people to do that. We said we're going to be there. And if people want to come hang and play poker, they can. They said, okay, we're going to do an event because we want to give back. You know, this is always, we're going to get back and do an event.
Yeah.
As of yesterday, Chad, now he's coming to the Borgata. He's going to give everybody shirts and keychains and magnets and shark stickers.
Lanyards,
Lanyards. And he goes, I don't know what we'll do. Probably just stand around and talk or whatever, but like, we'll figure it out. And it's like, okay, so now Chad's event is literally...
He stole our event!
He has less activities planned than us playing poker. His event is literally like, show up, I don't know what we're going.
Well, the worst part is you guys picked the worst place to go, because the B bar is where you were last year?
It's worse than we even knew.
Oh, it's horrible.
Literally,
send help!
Half of the casino is walled off and curtained off, and there's nowhere to like congregate. Like, there's just nowhere to like be, except like the poker room's great because like you can get your friends together and sit down.
And there's one blackjack table open.
Yeah, everything's like electronic.
It sucks.
Craps games and electronic black. It's just shit.
Sucks.
It's shit.
Guys, I think I told you this last year. I don't tell anyone how to have a good time. Atlantic City's a shithole. I don't know why.
You know.
I don't know why you guys are traveling across
It's perfect for the Dabbleverse.
Pacomania. This is a shithole. This is a shithole.
I understand. I've dabbled kind of Rochester, so I shouldn't be saying anything now that I think about it. But I thought that was hilarious that you guys picked a place that there's like nowhere to go and nothing to do. And by the way, that beer hall, we don't even know if the beer hall's open. Yesterday it wasn't, so we don't even know if that's been opened or not. Yeah, the beer hall still wasn't open. Their grand opening, I think, was today.
Oh, no.
Oh, I thought it was yesterday.
Oh, maybe there's a soft launch yesterday. I don't know. I mean, you guys should take an Uber down there and see if it's even open.
Every show he does a soft launch.
So the other thing I noticed when I was watching Chad today, is he's getting all of these $2 super chats. And when you get a bunch of $2 super chats, you know who that is.
Ka-ching!
So it was Saul Show was one of the guys super chatting. The other one was Tukey.
Oh no!
So it was obviously Vince the lawyer,
Yay!
or as I refer to him as Vince the midget, VTM. So he's super chatting, and he's trying to convince Chad to meet up with Rob Saul and have a push-up contest in Vince's hotel room.
Yes, he's been trying to get me to get him Chad's number. I don't have Chad's number.
Well, he was doxing your number, Tukey, in the chat.
I gave out my number on his show.
Okay, so
Yeah,
he kept doxing that and
Give me a
telling Chad to get in touch with you, to get in touch with Rob or whatever it was.
All right. I'll get right on that.
Yeah, I know. Nobody misses Stuttering John more than that short attorney. Holy
By the way,
shit.
while we were on the elevator up, we ran into KB. Lady
Oh, really?
KB,
Lady
getting off
KB.
The elevator. And she's very, like, I think she thinks we did something. Like, she's a Chad fan. And now, like, somehow I've done something to offend Chad, even though Chad's the one who was shit talking her. Like, I don't know what's going on. I really don't.
So at what point, I understand, Chad's big redemption arc. It's amazing. He's got so many fans now, and everyone can't wait to watch his show and all his hilarious jokes and give him money. But at what point does he lose credibility with these people now that he's blaming you and me and Ray DeVito and it's everyone's fault?
A lot of what goes on in this world is like people align with people who are just enemies of people they don't like.
Yeah.
It's not about liking Chad. It's like Chad hates Melton and I hate Melton. So I love Chad. There is a lot of that.
I understand. All right, we're going to get into the boxing stuff. But first, I want to thank the fine people who are supporting us at supertip.gg/WATP. Go there right now.
I had to refund a super tip for the first time today.
Oh, was it the $1,000 super tip?
Yes.
Oh, no.
Oh, so sad.
Funny story about that. A similar thing happened to Stuttering John a few years ago. And that was back when he was just doing his political show. And it was all poor people super chatting him. It's just these sad people. And someone by mistake gave him $300 or maybe, no, it was $200. They were trying to give him $200. And they gave him $200. And John's response was, I can pay you back after I get the money, but I can only pay you back the $140 because YouTube takes 30%. This poor person couldn't afford a sandwich that week because they did too much.
Super tip takes $100 out of that $1,000, and when I refund the $1,000, I don't think super tip gives a penny back.
It sucks, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to eat it, though. I guess is my point. All right, let's see what's going on.
Maybe if I let Coach Scott molest me again, I can get in some work.
Wow, that's a conspiracy I haven't heard yet, Baloney Factory. Connor says, now we'll never know, but how many people were going to show up to that with the fake lanyard? Oh, were people counterfeiting the lanyards? Could you imagine 2,000 people show up at this place?
Somebody made a great point in the chat a minute ago. They were like, Chad was having dozens of people show up to the event, but we're supposed to believe dozens of people fucked with the event. It's like, you only sold 60 tickets. How many people possibly were fucking with the event? And by the way, if more people were fucking with the event than tickets you can sell, you don't need to do live events.
I heard your guys' theory that Chad's the one who canceled the event because he was getting real nervous about how things were going, and was Kevin going to be happy, and was the show going to work correctly. And a part of events where police were called, venue owners were called, the mayor of the city was called, and we still had the event. This is nothing new that people reach out. Events know this.
Well, it's not a theory. Someone on Reddit says they talked to the Tennessee Beer Hall, and they're saying, no, Chad canceled the event.
Right, let's not be the somebody on Reddit said people. We're better than that.
A lie on Reddit.
We're better than that, Patrick. It's not a lie. I saw someone posted it on Reddit. It has to be true.
But this is just one of the hits Chad got this week. Apparently his Wikipedia page is deleted. That meant a lot to him.
I know he's upset about that.
Who even knew that Wikipedia had a page on Chad? But Chad's one of those guys. He checked it every day, I'm sure.
Yep. So that got killed. And then the Roadcaster, he lost the whip sound. And I don't even know why someone would super chat him now without the whip sound. What's the point?
Right.
And what if the Roadcaster was helping him not drink? What if every time he wanted to take a drink, he played a whip sound?
That was his sponsor, the Roadcaster?
Yes!
I think you're right. Damn it.
No, he doesn't have a sponsor.
I'm such a failure that I became the star of this show.
Yeah, I know. Sorry. This isn't a show about Chad. We're gonna get off Chad in a minute. I'm
just
sorry.
wait does the timestamp show starts at 26:34.
It's hilarious.
I'm the Dutch shark. At least vodka bottle never canceled me.
Well, vodka bottle has gotten him in trouble before. They're not free.
It's all been cleared up, like Nick's gooey, salty tummy tum.
Just Chad and Tito Hank hanging out.
Tito Hank. Silence Do Good coming in says, if you said don't call, then Chad would have said you were being sarcastic and encouraging people to call. Yeah, no shit. The event was doomed from the jump, and whatever happened, Chad would have a lie ready. Moody, call mom. No, it's so true. The idea that I was responsible for not telling people to not get it canceled.
Right.
Because honestly, and Opie used to yell at Anthony about this too. He's like, oh, he's telling the internet to do this and do that. It's like, I can't control the internet. No one controls the internet.
I'm actually glad Chad brought it up, Karl, because I wanted to talk to you about that. You haven't really told people not to fuck with Hackamania. Like,
I heard you saying that people should call the hotel and say they're going to bring guns.
yeah, and
See
you
what
gotta,
happens.
you gotta really love Chad's subtle high road. He was like, whatever you do, don't fuck with Hackamania.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
It's
sure,
like
they did it to me, but that's them. Like, don't do it to Patrick and then let it happen.
it's like trying to convince someone you weren't being sarcastic. There's zero way to do that. There's
Right.
it's like I wasn't joking. What are you talking about? No, I'm not being sarcastic. I'm like, don't fuck with the event.
You could
Whatever you
really
do,
hurt
don't.
them. You could get it canceled. Like, don't call them. Don't tell them.
All right, Stuss Cluster coming in.
Yes, these guys only align themselves with each other if they hate the same person, which is totally not happening on the screen right now with you guys. Forgot to feed Bonzo.
There is a one difference.
There's a lot of differences, but go ahead.
Sure. We don't, just because we are aligned on disliking and making fun of somebody doesn't mean we'd be like, no, I like Karl. I get along with Karl. I've known Moody for more than a decade. Like, we get along. We're friends. Rocco and I, people make fun of how we giggle and we're gay and stuff. Mm-hmm. Chad uses this as an insult all the time. Like, Patrick doesn't have any big comedians he can invite to do Hackamania. And it's like,
Right.
Well, it's a Dabbleverse event. It wouldn't make sense to invite. Who am I going to? Jim Gaffigan's going to come out.
It's called Hackamania.
Right. He's like, he just met these guys a couple of years ago, and he's teaming up and doing. It's like, yeah, we're fast friends. It's a thing that happens. Like, yeah, we all get along. It's
Patrick.
great.
Remember the first time? Remember the first time you were on WATP, Patrick? I was best friends with Aaron Imholt at that time. Remember?
Yes.
Me and Aaron were used to like
was your
skip through the
phone
park
wallpaper.
together.
I feel like we could, with zero audience, we could be just sitting around a table doing this, talking about the same stuff that we do here.
We were the whole poker table last night. We had the dealer involved. We were all talking about Stuttering John. Like, everyone was like, and then all the people were like, "We're going to be here this weekend. If he comes, you got to come get us and show us."
They're
excited.
They're excited to see John.
It's so good. It's not
That's
a act.
hilarious.
We're not pretending to hate Chad.
But there's no world where Kevin and Chad sit in the same room without going live and speaking with each other. He's got nothing to say.
Unless
Like,
it's full awkward. Like,
right.
Straight Karl says, push-up competition in a hotel room, gay. I agree, Straight Karl.
do
I
it
don't
in the
understand
pits.
that at all.
My money's on
Papa
Chad,
Patty, Brad won't get in the oven and I ate all our food. I'm starving. Oh, wait, I forgot about the sheetrock in the laundry room. Have fun, honey.
All right. So your wife's okay. That's good. It's good to know.
Hold on. Why do you have?
I'm
slow
the
wine?
best ever. I'm the most desperate, delusional, and ruthless coach there's ever been. There's no one can stop me. Nick is a conqueror. No, I'm Alexander. He's no Alexander. I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody as ruthless. I'm Lombardi. I'm Belichick. There's no one like me. I'm cut from their cloth. There's no one can match me. My style is impetuous. My ex-wife was impregnable, and I'm just ferocious. I want your heart. I want to eat his semen. Praise be to Allah.
You asked why I have a slow wife on here.
Yeah.
It's because that's obviously Rosie O'Donnell when she played a retard.
Thank you.
That's one of my favorite movies.
So good.
Riding the bus with my sister, I think
I
it's
think we
called.
made fun of that on my podcast when it came out in like 2007 or whatever it was. It was so good.
It's so good. I love it. Colin Mann with $5 says, loved intro song, Karl. Was the bridge inspired by Schism by Tool, just a guess, good stuff. Drummer is badass. Yes, our drummer is definitely one of the best. And it might have been influenced by that. I agree with you. I hear the similarity. Shit show, Scott World Order, you lollipops.
Yeah, lollipops is great.
he's pretty fucking funny. I heard you talking about getting him as an AI voice. That would be great. Cool Cut Casting. Thought Germans were supposed to be punctual, Karl. Yeah, I'm dealing with these amateurs in Atlantic City. Their shitty equipment. This is towards the Aaron is Psycho Fund. Well, thank you, Cool Cut Casting. We'll put it right there. Dang Lizard, €5. On his show today, Chad wanted to call Aaron's gym. Of course, just to promote the gym, so a completely legitimate reason, unlike what you guys did. Why do you have to call a gym to promote it? Why would you need to talk to someone?
Part of Chad's famous promoting a gym segment that he does on his show every day.
Why? Like, is he going to call and be like, you guys available for events? I can bring 60 people in.
Look at all the great stuff it's done for Steven Bravo.
Chris
promotes him every day.
Yeah, wait, hold on a second. Ray DeVito was kicked out of his gym, right? Because somebody called and complained about him. Wasn't Chad applauding that when that happened? Okay.
Yes. And again,
I don't watch a lot of Chad, but I'm just assuming.
It wasn't against Chad, it was against Ray.
And more importantly, again, it was less than a month ago that Chad got Stuttering John's gig canceled and was bragging about it and telling him, don't even try to book anything else.
Yeah.
I'll get that canceled too.
You don't know the rules, Karl.
Obviously not. Chris Allen, $10. Speaking of AC, Tuki's Chad impression sounds like Snake from The Simpsons. Oh, that's a good call. Oh, as if.
Why are you lying? Why are you lying?
Karl, fix the goddamn super tip resolution. Never. Wait, is it on me to fix the resolution or is it on Moody?
Yeah, I'll teach you how afterwards.
Oh, okay. My bad then. Sergeant Elias, $10. Super tips are illegal. You can't use people's likeness and voices for profit without permission. The PDF file in the top left brags about illegally accessing people's info. So what do you expect?
I do.
I like that you're like, I must be the one. Did he say top left? All right, I guess he did.
I noticed something last night because I never really watched Blade before, but I was watching Blade's being upset with Chad and KP yesterday, and I read the description of his show. And if you look down in the description of Win by Two's show, it says, if you want to send a super tip, go to streamlabs.com.
Oh, that's fun. Oh, that's funny.
Super tips.
Oops. Oh, so that was something I picked up on from Monday's show of Steel Toe, where they did say super tip. There will be a lawsuit, just like this Sergeant Elias is saying. And Aaron says, well, I mean, of course, you have dipshits running that thing. I was like,
right.
Have you met either of these people? They're much smarter than you, Aaron, in every single way.
I was watching a Mersh clip a few days ago, and he summed up Aaron in a way I've never heard anyone say. He said, usually sociopaths are like either geniuses or they're really stupid, but Aaron might be the first bell curve sociopath. Like he's the first sociopath with lukewarm intelligence.
I've always studied like a Minnesota,
right?
Like it really is like.
That does sum it up perfectly. Okay, let's get into this video of Scott. So Scott owns the boxing gym where Aaron's a coach and where Aaron works. And so they were having a little conversation before practice where he's addressing that the schedule is going to change, which is unfortunate because they have that big event coming up February 22nd where a bunch of these guys have matches.
Just to set this up, Aaron claimed to be a coach at this gym and he would be at these Thursday night practices sometimes. Yes. After he was suspended, he said, I'm suspended, but I'm still coach. Right. I'll be there every Thursday. I'll be training and I'll be getting paid for it.
Yeah, I get paid to coach still, even though I'm suspended from coaching.
Yeah. He said that the day before this clip.
And remember, there was an email chain with this guy, Scott, saying that Aaron is not a coach and has never been a coach at our gym. Right. And so it seems like he was doing that to cover his ass because he's doing things USA Boxing wouldn't be pleased with.
Right.
For insurance purposes. I think we're going to learn that from this video. And so
him and
it's
Scott
really
just
blowing up
laugh
Scott's.
at all this. They laugh at all.
No. I know business owners. They don't like shit like this getting out there, and that like, oh, people are going to be looking into this and looking at our gym now and seeing if we're breaking rules. They hate that shit. So
Aaron said me and Scott were laughing and laughing.
okay, well let's see what Scott
They
says.
laugh in Minnesota.
You also, too, will not have a Thursday night other course. USA Boxing background check shut down one of our people.
All right, we got to stop it. Yeah, right. Immediately.
Thursday nights there will no longer be any practices because USA Boxing background check shut down one of our people.
As it pans around this room and you see, like, again, how young these kids are.
Yeah.
And you see Aaron, like, again, it's the dichotomy of Aaron. He's a peer with all these people because he fights on the cards and the bouts and everything, but he's also a coach. He's a mentor, but he's also part of the group. I love that. There's never been like a more obvious one of these things is not like the other.
Right.
It's so awkward when he shows up. You know it is.
It's Dwight Schrute in his karate class.
Yes.
Like that's what this is.
Okay,
But he said USA Boxing background check shut down one of our coaches.
Correct.
Which is counter to what Aaron is saying. Aaron's saying it's nothing to do with the background check. It was dozens of emails, and now it's a complaint.
Right. Okay. So he's talking about Aaron specifically here.
Wednesday, yeah. Wednesday noon. Oh, yeah, not Wednesday night. I thought you were saying. No, I said Wednesday noon.
So he's saying at that point he's talking about having to cancel some practices because they just don't have enough coaches anymore.
Correct.
So one of them was canceled.
Well, Aaron's been going on Wednesday to the gym recently and Thursday night. So I'm wondering if he was coaching this Wednesday noon class they were trying to get going, like you said.
That's what it sounds
and
like.
the Thursday night class.
Yeah. And we're putting it towards the goal.
Right. This is Aaron's way of easing into a day job.
Yes, correct.
So yeah, the first was background. He didn't like it. And as an attorney, I got to have something to work with. And, this defiance, S-H-I-T by, and I can't even say it. So
Okay.
Stop.
It's not. He said defiance.
Defiant. Yeah, the wording is off.
The wording's off on this, which is confusing. But so this guy, it's fine. So this guy Scott is an attorney, and
Which is crazy.
Which is crazy. And he's saying that Aaron's handling. We're going to hear more examples of this. Aaron's been handling all of this wrong. He's being defiant. He's being disrespectful, and he's going there and going, guys. This is not a way to conduct yourself. If you're a part of this gym, we don't conduct ourselves. This is the speech he's having.
Yes.
He's making Aaron an example and saying, he's doing it wrong. Don't be an Aaron.
And he even says, like, we're going to tighten up all the rules around here because Aaron ruined it for everybody. Aaron.
I thought you said you didn't see this yet.
No, I've seen this clip. I haven't seen Aaron's reaction.
Oh, Aaron's reaction. Gotcha. Okay.
But yeah, so like, it's very clear that everything Aaron has said about this is a lie. It's the background check. He's been lying to Scott. He's been fucking around with Scott. And when he goes on his show and lies about the gym, Scott's seeing this. Scott's getting sent this or something. And he's not happy with it. And what's even greater about this that I even, like, this is just a fantasy camp in my mind. We find out Scott's an attorney. This could mean more legal trouble for Aaron. If Aaron keeps talking about this gym and saying, no, they are letting me coach illegally.
Yeah, right.
Imagine this Scott guy just starts another fucking legal process against Aaron. It could never end for Aaron. He can't stop putting his foot in his mouth.
Not just that, there's actually another thing that he's violating by speaking out about this, and it's misrepresenting the process of, like, the resolution process is another safe sport violation. So if he's going on his show and saying things that are wrong or incorrect about what's going on, that's another violation.
All right, we're going to get there. Yes, we're going to get there.
This defiance, S-H-I-T by, and I can't even throw him under the bus for being the youth of today, but just defiant, he really screwed himself.
So again, it got the translation wrong, but translation. But he's saying to be defiant in this way, he really screwed himself. So we see Aaron's attitude about this on his show. Then we'll get this squared away in a day. Whatever. It's not a thing. So he's obviously talking like that to the USA Boxing or emailing or whatever. And they're going, buddy, this is serious. We need to look into this.
It is wild to see someone from Aaron's real life start to see him as the person we've seen him as. This is show Aaron bleeding into real life Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's hard. It's easy to forget that these people don't watch Steel Toe Morning Show or know anything about this stuff. They just see Aaron as a totally different person that they get to see slivers of when he comes up to the gym and stuff. And then when they start realizing like what a noodle this guy is, it starts like,
this is a nothing burger. He hasn't even said it's Aaron. You guys are all just assuming. Another coach with a horrible background check.
We can like Tukey.
Yeah, he does say Aaron in a second, but also, who also teaches on Wednesdays and Thursdays. But right.
I'm surrounded by people with stage 4 steel toe derangement syndrome.
So the steel toe derangement syndrome. So he's been talking about that a lot this week.
Yeah, it's his new thing.
It started with him saying a lot of people have been going on Twitter talking about steel toe derangement syndrome. Mm-hmm. I did a search for steel toe derangement syndrome to see who came up with it. When did that start? So if you search
Twitter's
steel toe derangement, sorry.
Twitter's public?
Yeah, you can just look that stuff up.
Yeah, totally.
He says all the time, like a lot of people are telling me, great show on Twitter today. It's like that doesn't exist anywhere.
It's got a hidden feature called search up the very top of it. Where you can type in words and it tells you who said those.
You are smart.
Right. It's a PhD. Anyway, so you can search for, I searched for steel toe derangement. It was steel toe boots and people talking about derangement for a few years. Then it was Stalin 19 in November released a video called Steel Toe Derangement Syndrome. Has nothing to do with steel toe derangement syndrome. Right. And then Stevie Lou on Tuesday.
Who?
Stevie Lou.
Stevie Lou who?
Stevie Lou who?
Yeah, Stevie Lou who?
Where are you?
On Tuesday said steel toe derangement syndrome. I'm sad that a lot of people have steel toe derangement syndrome. It takes over a lot of people's online lives. And then Aaron went live and talked about a lot of people talking about steel toe derangement syndrome.
That's all it took. Okay.
It was Stevie Lou.
Stevie Lou mentioned it once, and then Aaron said a lot of people are talking about this.
What a good idea. I'm stealing that.
So we talked about this on WATP this week with Adam Bush, and I was talking about, when Aaron goes on and says, I've looked at Twitter and everyone's coming around on this steel toe derangement syndrome. And I just said, well, just show 2 or 3 tweets. You could still be lying. You could still show the Stevie Lou tweet and be like, yeah, there's tons more. But you can't even just show the one, just show one example of that. It's weird. All right,
and he's raising money for steel toe derangement syndrome. I don't know if you've noticed, all his shows now have that fundraiser thing on it.
Cute. Very cute. All right, let's get back to the coach Scott here.
I mean, nothing more we can do. Too bad, so sad, it's done.
I love how dismissive he is of this. All right, guys, Aaron's not a coach anymore. He fucked himself. Moving on.
Yeah, this sounds permanent. This sounds like he's closing the book on a chapter of the gym.
He's new boot goofing. You guys just don't, you don't understand because you're so sick with your AIDS. Aaron him the whole derangement syndrome.
As an attorney, you have to give me something to work with. As in, if we want to beat this, there needs to be something there.
Shut up. Hey, shut up, Aaron.
Yeah, as an attorney, shut up.
The problem with Aaron is he gives you too much to work with.
And then he says, too bad, so sad, it's done. He really screwed himself.
By the way, spoiler, we're going to find out when we watch Aaron's response to this that this is just a motivational speech that he gives before every practice to get everyone pumped up to fight.
He puts me down every week, guys. You don't know what you're talking about.
Do you think
to motivate all these kids not to be like Aaron?
Yes. Yeah. You don't want to look like Aaron when you're 38. We need you guys to work on those raps.
Do you think his 12 testimonials turned into 11 testimonials after this?
Oh, that's a great question. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to get ahead of myself. Let's go back to this.
It hurt us for a coach. Hurt us for Wednesday. I thought that could get going, but it is what it is. What are you going to do?
Oh, so that actually is evidence that he is. You just
Right.
picked up the Wednesday noon shift.
He was trying to get that class going. Aaron was
Yes.
the coach of that class.
Okay,
as
so
well as Wednesday nights, and now they've lost 2 sessions.
Yep.
This was also, again, this is the bottom line revenue for the gym.
Right.
Classes are canceled.
That's how he makes his money right there.
Right.
Lessons. Wow.
So if you bleed two in the ring and I'm not here, you're done. This is all insurance purposes, liability purposes, and again, I know you hear it over and over and over again, but they got nip this stuff in the body.
So yeah, he's talking about like if there were more coaches there and someone bleeds, the coach can like help them to like cover that cut up and fix it so that they can. So this is now they can't do that now. If they bleed, they can't practice anymore. It's Aaron's actions are impacting the entire gym and everyone there.
And I'm going to read between the lines a little bit here, and Aaron might say I'm off on this, but it sounds to me like he might. It sounds to me like Coach Scott has maybe bend some of the rules because, I mean, USA Boxing, what are they doing? They don't have cameras in the gym. They don't know what's going on. So it's like, well, you're supposed to have this person here or that thing for liability and insurance reasons. And now that there's a microscope on him, he's like, fuck. All right, well, I guess we got to do everything by the books now, guys.
Yeah, but let's not forget. I mean, we can assume nothing else other than this guy has been letting Aaron coach without a certification for a while.
Correct.
Since April was around.
Yeah.
He's never taken the safe sport thing. And at least he's not taken it since he's had all this legal trouble. So, like, the fact that this all came out while they're scrambling to get legit is even funnier because they're like, all right, we got to hurry up and get legit. And they're like, yeah, you can't be legit. And they're like, fuck.
So you want to infringe on my time? Okay? Yeah, you're going to be point blank. I'm tired of putting up with the FHIT. It ain't going to happen anymore. You know what the rules are. If you can't hear, you can't listen, you know where the door is. Lay it down the law. Aaron messed around with me. No more.
Whoa.
Oh, this is not a motivational, like, go get him, guys speech. This is Aaron fucked it up and I'm pissed at everyone, so I'm not going to take any shit from anyone.
Aaron messed around with me and I'm not taking it no more.
Wow. 2K, I think he mentioned Aaron on that clip.
Oh, this is just Scott. This is the way Scott talks. We goof about this stuff, how he wants nothing to do with me, and I'm just like, oh, no problem, Scott. I'll see you tomorrow.
Scott and I were laughing about this video, actually.
Lay it down the law. Aaron messed around with me. No more. He screwed it up for you guys trying to get away with anything. This is boxing. I know what the hell he was trying to do. It ain't gonna happen anymore. And 1 minute a piece on your hand.
Yeah.
Oh, God, this is the hand wrap stuff. Hold on.
I
Go
don't
ahead.
know what he's trying to get away with, but it's not happening anymore. It's
Right.
But I love this
he's
scattered brain.
done.
He's literally like a lunch lady, like yelling at people in the thing, like, and you don't put your trays up either. You're not like, where did that come from about the hand wrap?
Yeah, I know. He gets into another thing. Apparently, he's got a lot of bees in his bonnet with
But
these
doesn't
kids.
this almost sound like Aaron when he does that angry voice?
Oh, yeah,
No
you're
more.
right.
I
You're
think
shutting
Aaron
it down.
really looks like Scott, almost like a father figure.
You're right. We're not talking about April doing drugs anymore until I talk about it ad nauseum.
I don't want to hear about any more of my boxers eating the cum of another man.
Jesus Christ. He's yelling this in my hotel room.
You're in Atlantic City. Everyone's yelling that in their hotel room.
Everyone's eating cum.
All right, I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. This is a great part right here. Oh, you just doxed yourself, Dickie.
This is Atlantic City, for God's sake. Everyone's eating cum.
There's one we're going in February 22nd. Aaron Sings pushed me over the edge.
Wow.
Aaron
The Aaron thing pushed me over the edge. This is not a typical motivational speech. This is, guys, we're going to start tightening our belts. We're going to start righting these wrongs. We're running a tight ship over here from now on.
You know, I get no benefit of setting that up. There's a lot of work. I'm not boxing on that car.
He's talking about February 22nd.
Right.
I know some of you other folks aren't either. But for crying out loud, you know, if you didn't listen in school about what the meaning of respect is, you're going to learn it.
Okay. This right here is, he's talking about Aaron. This whole speech is specifically about Aaron. And he's saying, we need to show some fucking respect. This is a big deal for us. I'm personally putting a lot of work into this February 22nd match that we're doing, a bunch of us. And this guy is messing with USA Boxing and not respecting their authority.
Right.
So he's calling him disrespectful.
I love that he has the energy of when I played football in middle school. This is like the energy of the coach. Like, I want to cuss, but we're not supposed to cuss at the kids.
Yeah.
So he decides to spell shit all the time, which just makes you look like an even stupider guy. Like, either say shit or pick a different word.
I don't give a damn about any of this malarkey.
The minute
You
you
could
start
go to
going, "We're
HE
crying out
hockey
loud, guys, you
sticks."
look like a bunch of lollipops out there. It's like, all right, well, you're silly. Like,
Scott's trying his best. He seems like a retired attorney who owns a boxing gym. Like, he made money, now owns a boxing gym, probably does it to inspire kids over there.
Yeah, just
Right? Like, just wants to contribute to his community. That's what this feels like.
Small business
I think he's
owner.
trying to
Like,
get in.
yeah.
There's no Olympians coming out of this gym, right?
right.
And then Aaron's coming in and just making him have to spend so much time on things that are not boxing. Like, it's just, now
Well,
you need to speak to.
You don't think Mayweather ever swings by?
You know the safe sport thing is only a couple hour online course?
Right. He can do it from bed.
Yeah, why hasn't he done it?
He's putting more work into the store lately, Tukey. He's getting his store up and running. He's got new products.
Fantastic!
I want to box, but you're making me an attorney again, taking me to all these arbitrations and responses and, oh, God.
Scott definitely knows he ain't come, right?
Guys, no one tells Scott, look, I'm going to do the thing that Jen wanted me to do. No one tells Scott that Aaron needs come, all right? No one tell him that.
Business.
I'm sick of Aaron Imholt coming in here not toweling off the equipment.
He comes in here eating SEED all the time.
No, you could have just stopped after he comes in here.
Well, that was the story when he was working at the radio station and he was pissed at management. So he would jerk off into Kleenexes and then leave them on the manager's desk.
That's his passive aggressive. It's like, I don't need to know anything else about the guy. Like, he's such a fucking
that's fucking crazy
loser.
That's like a felony,
right?
To leave your cum rag on your boss's desk.
Yeah.
Look, to you, it might be a felony. To Aaron, it was the good old days. that he
Right.
misses.
Yes, he longs for that.
You can't wait to get back and jerk off on another radio station's desk.
But he would go in overnight. So imagine he's getting up out of bed and April's like, "Oh, honey, what's going on? You can't sleep?" He's like, No, I set my alarm. I gotta go jerk off at my boss's desk. I'll see you at 4.
Do you think, like, when he's trying to think of something, he's thinking that he's in his radio station? Like,
Yeah, that's why he would sleep jack in the middle of the night. He's like, old habits die hard.
right.
Yeah, I got it.
Tukey, you're in the same room as Patrick.
Oh, I thought I was in bed. I thought I was sleeping.
Want to learn it? Well, then on the force feed. You don't like it either. You can go to the other clubs. It doesn't matter. Okay? So come on then. We got to kind of up our game and up our ante. I mean, otherwise we're going to look like a bunch of freaking lollipops out there. And you know,
That's what you want to hear from your
Great
boxing
word to
instructor.
describe Aaron Imholt. He's a lollipop.
know something? Don't disrespect the coaches. Okay? Throw the shit at me. Hey, I'll come back. We're just gonna work, put it through physical work, hard work. That's what we're gonna do. They do it in prison, we can do it here. They do it in boot camp, we can do it here. And that's how we're gonna channel that energy, because we're gonna get something out of the screw-ups that we have.
Wow.
Anyway.
Hit the like button.
All right, great job, dude. Phenomenal clip right now. So yeah, like Scott is pissed. He's like, all right, guys, I'm angry. Let's go beat up the opponents on February 22nd.
It's audio and video evidence of the same thing we saw with the email chains. Aaron's telling a completely different story, and Scott is being a responsible business owner, going, Aaron doesn't coach here. Aaron's never coached here. We never asked Aaron to coach here. Mm-hmm. That's not what's going on. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. I wasn't aware of this. And then Scott immediately went to Aaron like, you got to get this safe sport. You got to get like legit. And then Aaron's like, well, the reason I haven't been getting legit is not really legit. I can't like, so
right.
And now we're seeing it here. Aaron's going to, again, I haven't seen the reaction from Aaron this morning, but I assume Aaron's going to downplay it and completely contradict everything we just heard.
All right. Well, we're going to see that in just a moment. Oh, go ahead, Moody.
It's just fascinating because all this time, just because it's Aaron's show, we generally only get his side of the story for everything. But this is one of the rare opportunities where we can get the other side of a story, of the same events that he's talking about. And so you can see how reality matches up to the story that Aaron tells. The only example we had of this before was probably Kiki. Like, that's the only one.
Yeah, good call.
That's Keanu. Like, you can't trust
and one of the main reasons I'm looking forward to when Nick Rekieta can actually talk and like tell his story, because love or hate Nick Rekieta, and again, I know people say I ball watch for him, but like I don't know. I'm not. And again, no one.
You do.
Hold on, is that a broom in your hand? Are you sweeping for Nick now?
In all seriousness, like I don't like. Obviously, clearly, like the guy fucked up and like did some shit he's not supposed to do, but I don't believe that people can't change or have a redemption arc. I mean, you guys have been screaming about Chad's redemption arc forever. So, but like, I do want to hear what Nick has to say. He's been legally, the same reason Aaron can't talk about the revenge porn thing.
Right.
It's a pending case that he's involved in. It's funny that Aaron doesn't understand it when it's Nick, but he understands it when it's him. So I genuinely am looking forward to Nick telling his side of the story, because it will be us finally getting to hear. And again, the truth is always in the middle. But I bet it's going to be very interesting to hear him.
Hackamania.com, promo code WATP. I have a feeling what's going to happen is we're going to be like, Dr. Steve, I'm sorry, there's no more time. We got Nick Rekieta here. We're just going to let him go and tell his things. Yeah, sorry. No weird medicine tonight, everyone, but thanks for coming out. Let me just get caught up real quick on Super Tip. You know, we don't have a goal on the show except for laughter. If you want to contribute to our goal, you could do that at supertip.gg/WATP.
I don't benefit from this show. I'll sit here with my crackers.
Adam Davies, I checked Chad's Wikipedia article was deleted 2 years ago, December 2022. And he's only just noticed. Is that the case, or was he waiting for a time he could use this to be like, oh, woe is me?
Right. First 9/11, now my gig's canceled. Oh.
Perfect. Anonymous says, Tukey, your episode with Captain Alex was really good. Quirks aside, he seems like a good guy, but please keep away from chatting with kids. Oh my gosh, I saw that.
That was insane.
He's like, I'm just trying to make friends. Like, no. You don't need to friends. No, don't do that.
Just like Michael Jackson. He just wants to hang out with kids.
Yeah. We have a lot in common. No, don't say that. That's not good.
The same speech. It's the same speech that every pedophile on To Catch a Predator gave to Chris Hansen. I just want to be their friend. Can't I be a friend to these kids?
It's dangerous for them to be on the internet talking to grown-ups like that. So I just want to come over and like
make sure you're okay.
What was the coach from Penn State? For some reason, I'm drawing a blank on it right now.
Paterno.
No, not Paterno. Paterno was
Sandusky.
Sorry. Sandusky did an interview after all of that shit came out with Bob Costas. And it was the worst thing he could have possibly have done, because Bob's just like, so tell us your side. He's just like, I love kids. I love being around kids. I do a lot of things with children. I was like, what are you saying? Why are you saying this? No, I just really enjoy
the locker room to keep an eye on them.
Yeah, I just really enjoy the presence of children near me at all times. Like, fuck, idiot. But anyway, yeah, Captain Alex, get your shit together, buddy. Not good. I can't wait till that's the big controversy that takes Tukey down. His alliance with Captain Alex.
Oh, yeah. It's coming.
Karl, we started a game we never got to finish. Play for blood, remember?
I was just fooling about.
I wasn't. I'm your lollipop.
My what?
Your lollipop, Karl. The sweetest thing you'll ever meet, and the last.
God, I'll always regret losing Aaron as a BFF. It's really sad.
Well, look,
This
Gino
is
and Kiki are
boxing.
back.
Okay? This is
true.
boxing. I don't know what Aaron was up to. I'll tell you what, though. The SHIT stops now. They got one of our people. They got the moob, and they got him good.
Yeah, wasn't Gino back on Rumble Fridays today?
He sure was. Yep.
I mean, so Karl, you guys could be barbecuing by football season.
That's very possible, yes.
But this, so remember how Aaron pulled out of the boxing event because it wasn't a good idea to box two people who has an active investigation against.
Yeah, what's going on with that active investigation against you, Patrick?
Sure,
I was wondering about that because you hacked a Gmail account or a Google account. So are you
I
the
checked with
charges?
the FBI. They said I was allowed to leave the state.
Interesting.
They're like,
That's
stop
weird.
calling us. We don't know who you are.
Weird. I don't understand.
So he's so he pulled out of that because of the investigation that may or may not be actually happening. But then he brings Gino Bisconte, the witness, the star witness, in a pending felony charge case against him on his show again and pays him.
No.
What are you doing? How are these two things aligned with each other?
The Silent Student $5 says, regarding the Stevie Lou tweet, even worse, every comment except one disagreed with Stevie in the replies, and Aaron still said, so many people are saying this. Okay, that I want to grab that. Is that still up on X? That's
You're
hilarious.
gonna show it? Wow.
I might actually show it on my show to show that Aaron's full of shit. Like, I don't know, receipts, play the clip, that kind of stuff.
Look, the goal of this show is not
Scott
to
may be a
show.
rambling old boomer, but he's right. I picked a whole bouquet of oopsie daisies. Oh, boogers.
This show's not about proving Aaron's a liar, okay?
That's true.
We assume that.
We don't even know Scott was talking about our Aaron. There could have
Right.
been another
He
Aaron.
didn't say M-hole.
That's true. Why is it recorded and who is recording it? So talking about Scott and his
This is a
meeting
guy
here.
who's been streaming on Wednesdays for a while. Moody, that video?
Sorry. Oh yeah. So on this guy streams from the gym a couple times a week, and he gets a sizable audience. Like there's 80 to 150 people watching, and Scott knows that this guy does it, and Scott will talk to the camera. It's sort of like social media for the gym. And so everyone knows that he's filming. It's not behind, like it's not a secret, and he'll go up and talk to the players.
Tell me if I'm wrong, and I only watched it with like AirPods, the poker table, so I couldn't hear great. But I think at one point when Scott does one of like, oh geez, fellas, or come on, for crying out loud. One of the guy filming, I think I hear him go like,
I know what you're talking about.
I
Yes.
hear a laugh.
Yes.
It's not, so the guy whose channel it is wasn't the one filming during the Matt speech. He handed it over to someone else, and that guy was the one panning around. Yeah.
Coach Aaron's cummy lips says Scott and I are still LAUGHING. You guys don't get it. Let me get caught up on some super chats.
I've also sent you the Stevie Lou tweet. In the private
perfect.
chat.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Johnny Carson, $5 says, me and Teamster Tim did work at our jokes, bothered people for feedback, and then get a dump taken on us. Take that sort of on us like that sort of sucks, but it is what it is. Oh, these guys were going to be on Kill Kevin. See, these are the real victims of this. Chad pretends he's the victim, but I love to. I'm sorry, I have to get back to this. I keep remembering things that Chad said. It's been the most entertaining thing of the week for me, and I wanted the show to happen, so I'm not happy about that. But Chad pretends he was like doing charity work. I mean, we weren't even making any money on this. We were just trying to give back to the people, just do a fun thing, and then to have it get screwed up like this. I mean, come on, guys.
Rocco and I were doing the number crunching today. We're like, okay, so first Chad said, if I would have known I could have rented out the whole venue for $4,000, we would have done that.
Right.
Okay. They sold 60 tickets at $20. We know this. It's $1,200 gross.
Correct.
After Eventbrite fees, it's even less. I don't even know what Eventbrite takes, but I know it's more than like if you were to just sell your own tickets.
Of course.
So Chad said he was making $300 on the event. Okay. Chad was also paying for his flight and hotel. We know that the hotel was booked late. These rooms are $600 a night now. The flight
and worth it. What an amazing casino you got there.
Right. I mean, let's say the round trip
off.
flight, even on Spirit, you know, let's say 300. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Okay, so hotel and flight, $900. He was going to make 300. Okay, well now we're at 1,200. He was going to pay John 500. Okay, so now we're at 1,700. Of course, Kevin's room needed to be taken care of, and then they were going to get Bichetti a room, and then they were going to pay Bichetti, and at one point they were going to pay Ray and possibly get Ray a room, and we're just like, and then he was like, "We're going to rent the room for $4,000." It's like, where's all the money coming?
Well, he kept saying, and he denies this while he was also saying it. We're going to get so many super chats, though. We're just going to get a ton of super chats, and Kevin, I'll give you all the super chat money. You can log into my account and see how much money we made. We're going to have so much super chats.
I don't know why I don't make Hackamania free and just go, we'll have some whales, give some money, and cover it all.
Yeah. Well, you forget, though, that Chad also was going to have like 3 or 4 squares at Jim's Super Bowl party. And so he's planning on winning on the – he's got the good numbers for it. He's got 7-0. He's got 3-1. He's got some opportunities
some
there.
Bangers.
All right, let's see. Ghost of Cabby, would you all agree that Aaron is basically a younger version of Stuttering John? Stupid, failed career, lost family, etc. There's a lot of comparisons. He's not Stuttering John, but there's a lot of comparisons.
We spoke about this quite early on, Karl, that the comparisons between the two. I think Stuttering John is, I think, stupider than Aaron, in terms of
agreed,
which makes Aaron a lot more dangerous because if Stuttering John signed up to be at a boxing gym, there's no way that he'd get anywhere near being a coach.
Right. Or throwing an event. Like Stuttering John would never throw an event. He doesn't
John has a better record than Aaron. What are you talking about?
Sure. But Aaron can work himself into situations and places of trust where people rely on him, and then he pulls the rug out from under them. So the blast radius for Aaron is so much bigger than Stuttering John.
There is some shared DNA between all these guys, Aaron, Chad, Stuttering John, because Aaron started doing this thing this week that was interesting. For the top donations on the board, he started a new thing. I guess Twister's done.
Yeah.
So now, like anybody who gives a certain amount of money, he's going to send them a T-shirt and a mug, and it's like this is what Chad does, which I have a theory that it's all grounded in guilt. Like,
but John does the same thing. If you give him money or buy a cameo, he goes, "Next time I'm in town, free VIP tickets to my show. We'll hang out, get you a beer. It's the same kind of thing."
Can you imagine if someone actually takes him up on that? It's like, John, you're coming to Cincinnati. Remember that time I bought a cameo 2 years ago?
Fuck off.
Even like yesterday, like there's plenty of times like where like fans are around or whatever, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to get a drink. So you guys want a drink or whatever? Like you don't even think about that kind of thing. But Chad and Aaron are now doing this thing. Like, you get $50, you get a shirt, and it's like, well, you just launched a store. If people want a shirt, they go get a shirt. This whole thing of it, you assume everyone who gives you $50 needs your mug. It's a shit mug. No one wants a mug.
The other thing they all have in common, and this is a term that I heard from Phil Elmore, is that they're all cry bullies. Like they can be on the offensive, and then as soon as something happens against them, they're like, "Woe is me! All I'm doing is my little thing over here. Everyone's against me."
Chad gets John's gig canceled. He's like, "Yeah, don't fuck with me." His gig gets canceled. He's like, "What? What are you guys? Don't do that.
Why would you do that? We're just trying to do a good thing for the people. And now no one's gonna have fun now because of you." That's the other thing too. When Chad's on his show, I was picking up on this today. He's talking to his audience as if they're the ones who canceled his show. He's like, "See what you guys did? You guys did this to us." It's like, wait, your audience did this to you? It's time to reevaluate things then. That's not good. By the way, I just got breaking news in. An anonymous source, we don't know if this is true or not, tells me that Blade was expecting more than $500 to run this show, which makes sense. He was putting in all of the work.
I said it from the beginning. To ask one person to do the production of an entire live show plus a live stream, I mean, $500, those are scab wages.
Yeah. And in chat said, like, he's bringing monitors, TVs, projectors. I'm like, you only need one of those. That's not. Those are all the same thing.
Some people are going to want to watch it on a projector. Other people want to watch it on a TV. I'll have both.
We're bringing Apple Vision Pros. Like, dude, you don't even.
Does anyone have a Laserdisc printer player? Does anyone have a Laserdisc printer?
And a Laserdisc printer.
Or whatever.
Apple sandwich.
Player. Oh, stupid.
Was poker before or after the cookie game, you fruits? Thoughts on Scott's confirmation to lead HHS? I hope he gets through. Hamhead says Scott sounds like the actor M. Emmett Walsh.
Yeah, he's got that like that kind of like pudding stuck in the back of your throat voice. Like, come on, geez, Willikers, fellas.
Oh no, Aaron put us in quite the pickle here.
That True Coke goes on at the factory.
Rerun has been a member for 2 months. Thank you, Rerun. I appreciate the work the Tiny Hobbit Man does. Good effort, solid focus. Thank you for your commitment to Steel Toe. God bless. He's talking
honestly,
to you.
It's not work when you're having fun. It's so good.
You're dying. You're suffering from steel-toe derangement syndrome.
No.
Worse
I've got
than any
AIDS.
of us.
I've got it's AIDS, Aaron Imholt deficiency, derangement syndrome. That's what I've got.
Yay! Super chats.
You got the AIDS. We need to get that song from Family Guy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it wasn't something less serious. Christy Webster with $50. Happy Friday. Thanks, guys. Thank you, Christy Webster. You're what keeps this show going. We appreciate it. Rocco Orb, 2002 $10 says, I insist someone sick that crazy Charlie Zelenoff guy on the toe. He's a YouTube boxer with a 100-0 record who picks fights with random strangers and even a few legit pros. I'm not familiar with that.
I don't either.
I like it though. I like the sound of that.
Well, Aaron needs to be USA Boxing certified to fight, and he doesn't have that at the moment.
Here's a new guy, Lollipop, is watching the show. This is Box Ting. Thank you, Lollipop.
Lollipop. Come on back, dummy chainsaw.
Rover, remember for 8 months, says, is Scott Aaron's lawyer? I don't think so, but that would be interesting.
You know what? Aaron always like, I was talking to a lawyer.
My lawyer friend. Yeah.
Oh, shit, you're right. He's like, as a lawyer, it's put me in a really tough spot.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Chad's got like 4 lawyers. He's got like Sean, the uncivil law guy. He's got his lawyer, the good things happen to bad people guy. He's got Scott. It's a legal team.
Stevie Lou says, keep my tweets off this AIDS show, please. Never, Stevie Lou. Dame Taft, time for a haircut, Karl. Looking a little shaggy. Fuck off. Not only did I get my haircut yesterday, I got my chest waxed.
What?
It was a consequence for the creep off. Fucking Vinny get your chest waxed on the wheel of consequences for some reason.
When was the last time you had your teeth cut?
Did you record it? Did you record getting
Yes. Yay! It'll all come out. It'll all come to light.
Chad's gonna load that picture up and just keep popping it up on his show, blinking it on and off. For the
Karl thinks he's a bodybuilder now. Look at him always getting his chest waxed. Okay.
Is your chest itchy yet?
Oh God, it didn't break out in hives, but close to. It's not. So you've obviously gotten skin wax before, Rocco?
Shaved hair.
Oh, okay. No, waxing is a whole different thing. It's brutal, but anyway, I'm okay. I'm gonna survive. That wasn't the thing. Like, I'll be honest. The woman who was doing it for me goes, if you want, I can do like a sugar, which is a lot more gentle and it's not bad. And I'm like, no, I have to film this and do my consequence. I can't just, do it before and after.
Sugar on your body doesn't stop being hot. Like sugar is.
Wait, you've done this too?
No, but just like it's one of the worst burns you can get in a kitchen is if you get molten sugar on you because it
oh right.
It
I don't know if that's what that
off
is.
And it just
Moody, I felt like I was talking to the 2 gayest gay guys ever just now. They're like, oh, let's talk about waxing our bodies now. Let's go.
I can talk to you about sugar and baking. Like that's one of my
that's manly stuff right there. Yeah, that's guy stuff.
Guy stuff.
Lollipop.
Oh my God, I miss guy stuff. You got to bring that back. It's one of the best. All right, you guys ready for Aaron's response to what we just watched?
Did you want to see the Stevie Lou's tweet first?
Nah, I'm over it. I want to watch
Okay.
this first. We could go over to the Stevie Lou stuff
But
later.
I mean, Aaron is correct. Stevie Lou is a lot of people. He's quite tall. he's just, yeah. As
All right,
far as
fine.
people goes, he's
I'll
a-
bring it up since you're pressuring me to make sure we see this thing.
I'm just saying Stevie Lou's
it up.
tall, so he is technically a lot.
Did
of people.
Aaron say this morning that Scott was upstairs making candied bacon? Everything's
Right.
fine.
All right,
This
he
is-
says steel-toe derangement syndrome is real and it's infecting good people's minds. It's really sad to see. Oh, so this is what he
February 3rd.
loves this.
This is the only thing that was said about steel-toe derangement syndrome, and then Aaron goes on this show and says a lot of people have been talking about steel-toe derangement syndrome.
Mr. Panhandler, who's poor now thanks to Super Tip, says, explain. Aaron is not only extremely unlikable, he's a bad human being with not one redeeming quality. That's the first comment underneath this. Aaron's going, a lot of people are agreeing with this. They finally come around on it. And so he's reading this as another person. Stevie Lou responds
Right.
again. I see people just devoting the majority of their online presence to going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs over this dude. It just baffles me mind. What is he, Irish now? It baffles me mind.
There's so many intellectually dishonest things in that statement. It's like the majority of people are doing this, and
Yeah.
And how do you know? Like, do you have access to my Apple screen time? Do you know how much time I'm spending online and how much of it's devoted to steel? Like, you know, like it's such a weird like.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's spending all their time online on steel. Like, okay, where's the data for that? Like,
Yeah, I had a TikTok get over 100,000 views this week. It's like
Whoa!
you do a lot.
Can I get your autograph when I see you in Vegas? That's amazing. Can we get a photo
Sure.
together?
Yeah. I'll give you free entry to my masterclass, how to grow big on TikTok.
real quick, we have an idea that we may be able to do. We were talking about this yesterday, Rocco and I. Moody is coming to California next month for some work stuff.
Okay.
And so he'll be on US soil and he'll be a few hours away from me. And I've talked to Rocco about it. Maybe if we can get you involved, Karl, it would take a couple days of your time. We'd have to fly you out to California. But I have a listener in Bakersfield who does a show on a real radio station on FM radio. And he has talked to his program manager and filled him in on Aaron M. Holt and Steel Toe and the whole thing. And the guy thinks it's a hoot. And he has offered to give us a show on FM radio.
Yep.
So we can return to FM radio before Aaron M. Holt.
I love
And
it.
if Moody's going to be here, why not we put together a This Little Piggy special episode? And maybe we can do an ISDN or whatever. We'll do it online to bring your voice in or whatever. But like, I think it'd be great if we could do This Little Piggy on FM radio.
Yes.
Just exposing a whole new audience. Aaron, you know, we could do it like an introductory series that could maybe make for an interesting like video for like a primer. But I mean, to be on real radio doing This Little Piggy when Aaron M. Holt's whole dream is to be on real radio.
I love it.
It's great.
I'm all in. That's
We
hilarious.
should work
I'm-
on this.
Yes, I'm all in for that. That's hilarious. Getting back to this thread though, this is really funny because Mr. Panhandler. So he says, how does he ask for people to reach out to USA Boxing and accuse him of beating his kids? And so Shmuel Buckman's like, no one believes that's what happened. Like, is Stevie Lou watching Aaron and thinking that what Aaron is saying is the truth?
No,
That's
Stevie
weird.
Lou hates me.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
And the sun.
I was gonna go to a Ween concert with Stevie Lou, but I was in Detroit that weekend. Of course, Tomato Lou lies like the toe. Nobody's calling boxing associations. He applied for his coaching license to prove he's got one, and got rejected on the background check. But syndrome on Stevie.
Another parallel here between Chad and Aaron is we were just trying to do this event and Melton's fans emailed and ruined it. Both the boxing event, both the coaching license and the AC event. It was all fine. Everything was fine, but someone said I did something and now it's all fucked up. It's like, what?
Scott said it's the background check failed. USA Boxing background check.
No, it was dozens of emails.
Right.
You're right.
Chad's the same way. Oh, they got dozens of emails in that hour from between when Kevin called and it was fine, and when Chad went live yesterday, an hour later, they got so much overwhelmed. You guys don't even know. They're not able to do anything down there. It's like, what?
Joey, I hope you're taking notes for when you have to book CatalanoCon 2026.
Shit Show says, Stevie, you should co-host with him. You two are made for each other, completely bereft of humor. Melton Simp says, retard Stevie with another terrible take yet again. Cigarette Jones is another win for the toe. Coach Camel Toe Cope Show says, you're confusing laughing repeatedly and hysterically at what a loser locale Aaron Immold is with derangement syndrome. Aaron exists to be mocked. More Cope is needed. One good people named one. This is hilarious.
Every one of Aaron's shows, but he deletes them off YouTube, but he can't delete tweets.
Yeah, this is hilarious. I can't believe he brought attention to this. I should have looked into this sooner. Thank you, Moody.
Yeah. It's like these comments are, I'd say, like 80-20 in terms of disagreeing with Stevie to agreeing with him. What are a lot of people? It's just
20% is a lot. That's a lot of people. Right. Everyone's saying it.
Oh, that's funny. All right. Good stuff. Let's watch Aaron's response now to what we just saw Coach Scott saying, where he's not happy with Aaron for being disrespectful and defiant, and it's making things tough for his gym and for this matchup they have coming up because they can't have as many practices going on. And so we all just watched that, and this is Aaron's response.
I don't know if my energy can match how crazy today's show is going to be. We have news on top of news. We have research from the Steel-Toe Derangement Syndrome Lab. This one's going to be fucking crazy. This one's going to be great. I'm going to address this one real quick because I had a good laugh at this one.
And Scott.
So he had a good laugh at this one. Like, why not just be like a little bit honest?
When does shit get real for him ever?
Right.
Charges, it's a hoot. Like, I'm suspended from doing both of the things that are the most important in my life, boxing and radio. I'm not allowed to do anymore.
Yeah.
Like, it's nothing. Like,
no, it's not even nothing. He's laughing about it.
Right.
Oh my God, I just think about how my life's ruined, and I'm just so
my life gone. Get real.
How exhausting would it be to be in a relationship with this man? Like his wife would be like, I'm just so upset about how we don't communicate properly, about how you spend all your time on the show. You're constantly talking about all these internet people. And he was just like, ha, had a good laugh about that. She's just trolling. We're just having a good laugh with each other.
I should say real quick, shout out to Doom Paya, and Stalin 19. Stalin 19 has been killing it with Aaron clips lately. He's been getting the best stuff. But Doom's also fantastic.
Doom had a great day yesterday.
Yes. Oh my gosh. You are correct on that. Between that and Misery Loves Clips, I was having so much fun last night rewatching everything that went down for this.
I did too. We finished poker at like 4 a.m. and I came up to my hotel room for like two more hours and just caught up on. I was watching 1x2 and Chad.
Oh, fantastic.
Apparently, you can have steel-toe derangement syndrome so bad. Now, I think a big part of steel-toe derangement syndrome is when you live vicariously through steel-toe. It's remarkably unhealthy, but if it's all
is that the secret word?
I know. Like, I keep bugging my wife to get divorced. Like, I want to become like Steel Toe. I said, like,
I keep thinking I want to have 3 kids with a woman I'm not married to. That's what I want. I want to be facing felony charges right now.
I want to lose my whole livelihood, everything I love. I want to just have it taken away from me and laugh.
I don't want to like collect a paycheck every week. I want to beg for money every morning and then evening.
What if he gets $25 to coach boxing? Like, what do you think that paycheck looks like when it comes?
Right.
He's eight after taxes, he gets his $68 or whatever. Like,
it's like, what if I had this hairline, but these bits went back more?
But it was the same as it's been since high school, so he's not really losing hair. That was another one this week. Like, dude, I was in the mirror, like looking, which is what all guys with hair do.
You want to talk about steel-toe derangement syndrome? this man looked at himself in the mirror and said, I'm not
I'm
going
not
bald.
losing hair.
And then there's
Guys, you guys think this looks stupid? I'm going to keep this for another 30 years.
He looks
cool,
and he's like, it's hanging on tight from the back, and you watch him turn around, and it is like you see a lot of scalp in there.
There's he's getting this circle in the back for sure. Skin yarmulke.
I got that too. I can't say anything about that.
It's fine. Like
I get a sunburn in the summertime if I'm not wearing a hat. All right, so I get it.
Karl, it's fine to go bald. It's just weird to be in such denial about it.
Can I tell you a funny story? When we were in Largo and Tukey was there. I should have said, can I tell a funny story? When we were in Largo doing the live show with the Revenge of the Sith guys, and there was a mix-up. I think it was Joey C. couldn't get into the meet and greet, and I told him we'd get in, and then he didn't have credentials. So I had to go out into the lobby to talk to someone, and there was a guy at the concession booth who looked over at me and he goes, "Holy shit, you're going bald too?"
The best part is
this is a WATP fan.
The best part is you don't even know what the 2 is on top of.
Right?
Yes. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Aside from all the other things that we goof on you for, I didn't realize you're also going bald in the back. Fuck.
Hold on, so you're saying the C in Joey C doesn't stand for credentials?
Correct. Oh God, what a pain in the ass that was, but everyone got their photo taken with them, so it worked out well.
Steel toe. It's remarkably unhealthy, but if it's all the circles you run in, you don't notice you have it. That's one thing we've learned from researching this disease. Now, if you go and you watch a live stream of a boxing class because you need Aaron content so bad.
All right, this is disingenuous.
That is what happened.
Yeah, I mean, this is just completely disingenuous. Like, oh my gosh, Aaron's not on right now. Is there someone talking about Aaron that I can watch?
How would you even search that?
Right, yeah, no, it doesn't make any sense at all. So he's pretending that this is just like, oh, just a guy I know was doing a show and some people watch that because they know that I know that guy.
This is like a guy murders his wife in cold blood. There's blood all over the house, and there's body cam footage of the cops showing up to the scene and stuff. I'm like, wow, you're looking up the scene of where I murdered my family? Like, is that how fucking bored you are? It's like,
yeah, right.
Focus?
Why are you so obsessed with me? All I did was murder my family. What's your problem?
The day before this as well, he was talking about he's going to be at the gym training and as a coach. He's like, I'm going to be there. I'm going to get paid for it.
He went Wednesday, and he said he was feeling good, and the minute he got in the ring, he started coughing and felt gassed out. So he decided the best thing to do would be to go home because Thursday's important. He has to come back and teach a class, and he gets paid to coach, so he doesn't want to be out of commission on Thursday. From what we can tell, he didn't show up Thursday, and Scott probably told him, "This is done now."
We're getting to that. Don't worry.
Okay.
Yes, he addresses this.
I got bad news, guys. You got it real bad. So yesterday.
Okay, so the first thing he does, so this is his cope list, okay? He's going to spin things too, but let's start with the cope. So it starts with, if you guys have even seen that video, then you're a loser. I'm going to address it, and I'm going to spend the next 10 minutes addressing it. But if you've even seen it, that's on you for having seen it. Got it.
I didn't even watch it, Aaron.
Right, okay.
Well, we're all losers.
I talked.
Yeah.
Look, he's trying to be all cute and see like you're obsessed with me. You can't stop. Aaron, you're fascinating. It is
for sure.
It is like we don't see people like Aaron commonly. Like it's a rare person to have someone that's able to like step on rakes
I was about to say
frequently as you can.
The phrase "stepping on rakes" is thrown around quite a bit. It's like you do get glimpses of guys like this that like something happens and then they're gone. It just like it might be another full year of legal problems for him. Like it's getting nuts.
Who was the guy who pissed on OJ's jeans at DabbleCon 1? Kevin Dumbfuck.
Oh!
It's like that's like what you expect to have happen with a guy like Aaron. Like something really embarrassing happens, and then he goes and works in the private sector somewhere, and he
Also,
just
like,
moves on.
As gross as it sounds, I can like Yeah, we all make mistakes. I can get over a guy one time doing one thing if I hang out with him 10 other times and he's normal.
Yeah.
This is everyday Aaron. It's insane.
Right.
But the thing is, Aaron knows he's interesting, but he thinks he's interesting for a different reason.
Right.
Right.
One
He's so
guy has
talented.
steel-toe derangement syndrome. It's Aaron Imhole.
Yeah.
Yes.
One of my favorite shows is Kenny versus Spenny. Have you guys watched this? Watched
seen
it
it.
before? Okay, basically it's two guys that compete against each other every week in different competitions, and the loser has to do a humiliation at the end of the show.
Like get his chest
Oh,
waxed.
someone ripped it off.
Yeah. Karl's an original. They're out of ideas.
Cover band.
But so generally, like the characters on there is Spenny, who's like a real rule follower, and Kenny, who like cheats and just messes with Spenny, right? So some of the humor of the show comes from their different understandings of what winning is. So Spenny thinks that whoever technically wins, as in if they cheat and get disqualified at a later point, that's the winner. Whereas Kenny thinks that whoever does the humiliation is the winner. And so there can be shows where Kenny cheats and gets disqualified maybe like after the taping, but Spenny's the one that ends up doing the humiliation, and that's both of them are happy at the end of that. I feel like Steel Toe is very much in the same ballpark as Spenny, as someone who wants to have technical wins or like a win at any stretch in name only, but doesn't give a shit about how humiliating it is.
Yeah, it reminds me of that kind of reminds me of Taskmaster too. And I don't know how many people in the US watch Taskmaster, but it's the same kind of thing. Like a bunch of comedians get a challenge and they have to do it. And the goal of it is to kind of like find a loophole or like a thing that wasn't mentioned that's like a kind of a cheat to it. And the brilliance of it is like you have to do that and then convince the judge like what I did is fine, what I did is fair, because you didn't say we couldn't do X or we couldn't do Y, and not be too smarmy about it, because the judge guy, Greg, might go, no, I don't like what you did there. You're 0 points. Like, fuck you. Or he might go like, that was brilliant. I didn't even think anybody could do it that way. And Aaron wants you to always go like, oh, he's doing things in a way nobody ever conceived before. Like he always says, I'm the first guy to ever make a go of this internet radio thing.
Right, yeah. The first guy to transition from the radio to the internet and make a living. Like he's literally said that before.
But he got to a point where he was doing it well, over $20,000 a month, and then he's here now.
To Scott, and I talked to Scott about the appeal thing, which I'm guessing I've talked to the Safe Sport people. I'm guessing we should have it done in a couple of weeks. It's gonna be
okay. So he
whenever
talked
he
to
starts
Scott.
the hand,
Yeah. So he talked to Scott about the appeal thing, and it probably should be done in a couple of weeks. You know, remember it was going to be before the weekend gets here, and it's going to get taken care of right away. Now it's going to be a couple of weeks or a few weeks. Okay.
gonna be cutting it real close to that February 22nd thing, but it sounds like the whole thing. We got it. What I'm really hoping we can do is get a temporary lifting of it while it's being investigated.
Is that what you were saying, Moody, earlier? Is $1,500?
Yeah.
What
That
is this?
it costs.
What is this movement?
That's natural when you're talking, right?
You know when people do Tai Chi or like
He's like a
What is,
human
like,
praying mantis.
You
What
can
is
do what you want to do in living color.
what are those like Fuji balls or whatever that people used to have?
Benoit.
Oh, right. Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
stretch arm weak.
All right. It costs $1,500. It's a non-refundable $1,500 to get the temporary suspension overturned. And it's arbitration, so it's not guaranteed that it'll happen.
Right. Well, we're going to find out differently from Aaron. This is guaranteed for him.
It's gone from you guys, you get your 48 hours and you enjoy yourselves because this is just a mild inconvenience that I can deal with from bed. Now it's turned into 2 weeks maybe.
They call everybody who wrote letters on my behalf, because at the end of this rainbow is the whole thing gets lifted. We're good. We can go.
Hold on. He said they're going to call everyone that wrote letters on my behalf as part of this investigation. You think Scott's going to give him a good... Scott
Just
wrote
to let
one
you
of
know,
the testimonials.
You can still charge it. Tugi's phone died, so he will just be frozen like that. You'll just be able to hear.
Sorry.
It's okay.
right.
It's almost
no
better.
worries.
You'll probably hear me better now.
It's fine.
He just wants to,
Yeah.
he just
Let
wants
me
to
back that
smoke
up
in
real
the
quick.
corner.
Moody, everyone was distracted just now. We back that up and play it again because I wanted to make a similar point on this.
Half, because at the end of this rainbow is they do is get a temporary lifting of it while it's being investigated, while they call everybody who wrote letters on my behalf. Because at the end of this rainbow is
While they call everybody who wrote letters on my behalf. Now, remember that Aaron has come out and said, this is nothing. He doesn't care. Some people emailed a thing. They thought they were getting over on me. You got to do better than that if you're going to try to get one on me. I don't even give a shit. If I did a thing
in the morning to watch Steel Toe.
well, that's true. If I did a thing where in order to like someone did something to me where in order to get out of it, I had to have a dozen of my friends or acquaintances have phone calls with some association, that's obnoxious. I can't even imagine making that phone call like, hey, can you write a letter on my behalf? And they're going to call you and you're going to have to say like how great I am and stuff. Like,
That's why
is that cool?
$1,500. It's a lot of man hours. Like,
yes, right. I mean, even getting a pistol permit, you don't need 12 people to vouch for you. That's a lot of fucking people. Why are there so many for that?
is the whole thing gets lifted. We're good. We can go again. But it's like, it's annoying because it's like dealing with the government. So I'm talking with Scott yesterday, and Scott goes, God damn it, man. He goes, kind of this here. I'm like, well, no shit. I want to get it removed. He's like, all right, I'll make some calls. You make some calls.
Okay. See, there's a lot of tells in how he's telling the story right here. there he is. So he's like, oh, come on, man. You're kind of fucking us. He's just like, I know, man. What are you going to do? He's like, no, I know. Get out of here, you scamp. Let's just start making some phone calls. We'll figure this out. Yeah, we'll do that. Was that the energy that Scott was giving out on that the stream we just saw?
Oh, shucks, man. He kind of like, ah.
But it almost seems worse than that, because I almost get the impression Scott's like, you really fucked us here. Like, meaning, hey, you might fuck my gym over.
Scott said it's done. He said
Aaron's-
it's done.
Yes. Moving on.
Like, I know you need coaches. I know I'm trying hard to help you.
He said no more classes. Like, we were trying to get the class going. I thought it could happen. It's not going to happen. He's not saying we're on hold for a couple weeks. He said it's done.
Yeah.
Aaron tried to mess with me. Never again. No more. It's done. And he ruined it for all you guys. Because now we're going to do everything by the book and by the letter. And it's like, well, one would argue you probably should have done that from the beginning, but okay.
It sounds like even if Aaron is successful in getting everything overturned, Scott is not going to welcome him back into that gym.
Well,
like,
I mean, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see.
It seems like a burned relationship.
What's less than more because Aaron says they talk every day on the phone.
And today. He says every day and today.
So we start making some calls, and they're like, I swear we're going as fast as we can. So then I called Scott later in the day, and I'm like, Scott, I can't, like, work up a sweat or, like, elevate my heart rate without my lungs acting up and me coughing my balls off. Not going to be working out today. He goes, that's all right. He said, that might help us.
Guys, listen very closely to this because this is like Chad Zumach level lying.
You can't fire me. I quit.
No.
I couldn't come in tonight anyway to teach.
But
boxing if you wanted me.
It's worse than that, though. Listen to where this goes to.
Like, elevate my heart rate without my lungs acting up and me coughing my balls off. Not going to be working out today. He goes, that's all right. He said, that might help us. He said, well, this whole thing is being looked into. If you're sick anyway, he goes, just stay home. Don't come to anything. And maybe it makes the whole process work faster. I'm like,
guys, how is that possible? So Scott was going to have Aaron come in and coach, but then Aaron goes, I have the sniffles, so I'm not even sure if I'm going to make it in. And he goes,
that's why Scott gave a speech saying, it's done. Aaron fucked up.
Yes.
It's done.
It's like Aaron didn't even watch this thing. Like, no, we all watched the thing. It had nothing to do with you having the sniffles. We know that for a fact.
Yeah,
he said there's a background check issue. You're suspended with USA Boxing, and you can't coach at the gym.
I think
we know
this
that
conversation was backwards. He was like, Scott would have told him, don't come into the gym anymore. And Aaron would have been like, that's actually really helpful for me because I'm sick right now.
Right.
Like that's
you're right. Yeah, he reversed it. That makes sense.
Okay. because he's dealt with this before. He's had like 3 guys
He's
go
had
through the
3
same
felons?
thing, and he said at the end of the thing, it always gets overturned. They just got to do, as he says, due diligence.
Yeah,
Okay.
they had a stabbing in the locker room, there's a rape in the parking lot. This happens, guys.
I'm calling bullshit on this thing. He goes, the coaches had this happen 3 other times, and it always gets overturned. Well, then why are they suspending boxers in the first place? If it always gets overturned, it doesn't even make sense. Why even go through all of this?
Right.
And you wouldn't have 3 examples to just be like, oh, I know exactly how this is going to turn out. Like, well, it happened at those 3 times, but
Also,
they need a larger sample set.
Why wouldn't he have ever said that before today? Like,
Right.
All of a
Yeah.
sudden, it's been, oh, this happens all the time.
So yesterday, Scott is giving one of his patented, like, fire up pre-practice speeches.
Patented. Classic Scott.
I just want to pause it right there. I don't know if this needs any commentary. That was a fire up speech, because what I heard was Aaron fucked up, and now the rest of us have to play by the rules from now on.
I would categorize that as frustrated and reluctantly having to let Aaron go. Like, I didn't want it to be this way, but he forced me. He won't shut the fuck up. I had no other choice. He's putting my gym at risk. He's putting my business at risk. That's why he brings up the lawyer thing. He's just like, it's like when I'm a lawyer, it's like, I can get you off anything almost if you'll shut up and work with me. But like, you just keep flagrantly disrespecting the gym and the process. He's saying all that.
Also,
being defiant. Yeah.
Let's talk about what this speech was to get people fired up. It was, hey guys, we can't do Wednesday afternoons anymore. Thursday evenings are off. So just so you guys know, mark that on your calendars. We're not going to be doing those anymore. We got that thing coming up on February 22nd. Aaron kind of fucked us on that. Sucks. We're probably going to get our asses beat because we can't practice enough, but them's the breaks. Like, that wasn't a rah-rah team speech at all.
I've watched a couple other like Coach Scott speeches, and they tend to be things. Yeah, and they tend to be things like, you guys need to stay in school. If you're suspended from school, you're not allowed in the gym. If you can't think, you can't box. Yeah. He says there's administrative stuff he takes care of. It's like, we've got a fight coming up here. We need to carpool, and we need to figure out.
That's a rah-rah speech. All right, carpool, let's go.
So it's like administrative, a little bit motivational, and then there's like some pointers that he gives people. But never have I heard one where he's named someone and says they've really fucked us. That's never happened before.
Scott was also very angry when he was talking about Aaron.
Yes.
He wasn't like reluctantly letting go. He's like, I'm done with his shit.
Yes,
basically.
that's exactly what he said. Right.
Exactly.
It wasn't just about the process in USA Boxing. He said, Aaron messed around with me.
Yeah.
Right.
He's personally offended.
Yeah, this guy's pissed.
And Aaron's being so blasé about everything. It's just showing a flagrant disregard for any of the emotions shown here. It's insane.
Yeah. And this is what pisses him off. This response is going to piss him off even more. Like, Jesus Christ, are you not listening? I'm not getting through to this guy.
Your
I can't.
response was to go on and lie about me more? And like,
Right. What an asshole. All right, we're going to get back to that video in just a moment. But first, let's get back to some super tips. Supertip.gg/WATP, because the goal on this little piggy is to laugh.
Moody, you called the boxers players, and you're dumb. You're dumb. They're referred to as fighters. You must stay out of my country.
For the first time, I agree with Kevin Brennan on this one.
I don't care about boxing.
We're all players in the worlds of boxing. Right?
For the record, I'm stupider than the stupidest person in the history of stupid, not just Aaron.
Yes, Whatnot Chaser. That is correct.
I know more about USA boxing regulations than I know about boxing.
That's true. You've done a lot of research on that. We appreciate it. James Gardner with $20 says, free rackets, and all of you are allegedly committing crimes.
By the way, Rocco did go down to USA Boxing headquarters to scope it out.
That's right.
It's in his town. And it is like part of the like Olympic compound. So you can't really get into that building. You can protest like outside the whole like USA Olympic compound. So it wouldn't really be effective. You wouldn't be at a building that says like
I
USA
still might do
Boxing.
it. I still might do it. I might make a couple posters.
You have a
'cause
picket
it is on a
sign?
busy street.
A picket sign for steel toe?
The problem is there's not enough foot traffic. Like I'd like to
Right.
interview people and ask them, you know, do you support Aaron Imholt being reinstated by USA Boxing?
You should do that at Casa Bonita. Is what you should do.
Are you
But
gonna?
yeah, there's a possibility I still do it, but
That's awesome.
yeah, we'll
Are
see.
you gonna protest for or against Aaron Imholt's reinstatement?
We're gonna be neutral, like any good news agency.
Yes, we will be neutral.
Tukey on the street.
Hey, ho ho!
Rocco
That
in
Imholt
the
guy has
sheets.
got to go. Hey, ho ho!
KJ.
Tukey
I'm
on the
sorry.
street, Rocco in the sheets.
KJ with 100 American dollars. Wow. Thank you, KJ. I have it on good authority. This guy's stuff, it's goofing around. Aaron's finger snaps and jazz hands were on point today.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron is another one of these guys, and I've been watching. So I didn't watch Chad for a year. And lately I've been watching him a little bit. He's getting very upset that I'm doing that, even though he's been trying to get me to watch him for the last year.
And you circled back around because you smelled blood in the water.
Yeah, I know, the pylon. Right.
You know, we just do shows and there's so much going on. Like sometimes we
Yeah.
just get away from it for a while. Like,
Right.
That's another lie to check off on the list. Karl doesn't watch me. Why are you lying?
I know. But that's another thing that like Chad and Aaron have in common is they'll be like pissed at these people and telling them how much they suck. And they're just like, oh, I'm just doing a fun show. I don't even care about this stuff. We're just all having a goof. Everyone's having fun. Yeah. So thank you, KJ.
There's been more than one person who's tried to say that Aaron seems like he was a theater kid at school because of the finger snaps and jazz hands. But I've had to defend, as a theater kid, I've had to defend theater kids for this because theater kids do like finger snaps and jazz hands because it's fun for them and they like to emote.
I do it all
he's
the time.
he's doing it because his skeleton is trying to leave his skin, like due to anxiety.
Yes, right.
Like, that's Aaron wasn't a theater kid. Aaron would have been the person who goes to the closing night of a performance and then tries to crash the cast party afterwards.
Right.
That's who Aaron is at school.
Real quick, I just want
hated
to
those
say
people.
to my friend KJ, we're looking at Boston for a live show this summer. Very possible WATP live in Boston. James Gartner, $10 says everything about Aaron is plan B.
Not his conceptions.
At one point, I thought life was about acquiring things. But as I get older, life is totally about losing everything. Yes, Couture.
Yes, guitar.
It never
Mike-
even said the last thing.
Mike Tyson. Okay, well,
Close
close
to
enough.
the machine, baby.
Yeah.
My name is Moody, and I like growing Fujian beans. Can't get enough. No, nom, nom. Oh, shit. I need to level my bed.
Fujian beans.
Why is my bed
While it
not
is
level?
true that I wouldn't beat Steve in a boxing match, he would beat Steve in a cum-eating contest.
All right. I can see that. I'll give it to him.
Stevie Lou.
Oh, Stevie Lou.
I imagine. John O'Reilly, $5 says, don't forget, all this started when Aaron challenged you guys to a fight in Vegas. Yes. That's when all this started, then USA Boxing, and everyone had to like get certified.
It started from an all expenses paid. It's an all expenses paid trip to Vegas for him and Slampiece.
Yep.
That's what started.
That was the offer. I did not approve. I did not approve that offer. But that was it. Dula the Butcher. It's always got a different name. The blind Mike puppet is jealous of Tukey. Love Melton.
Moody wishes he was here.
It's an open relationship, you know. Just when they come back, you realize that they love you more than anything else out there.
That's
So
true. That's true. The original One Pun became a member. Thank you very much for remembering up. We do live Who Are These Podcasts Wednesdays and Saturdays, and 2 bonus shows every single month. You'll find the links on the community tab. Rocco Orby 2002, $5 says, Aaron looks like a wacky inflatable tube man when he moves his arms like that. Yes.
And when he doesn't.
Truth seeker knows.
Did you see him do the truffle shuffle?
Truth Digger knows $5 says he's demoted Johnny to less shows. He's hitting every goal, faking 40% of the donos.
Yeah,
We'll
that
do
happened.
that. Yikes. Oh,
That happened this week. So, and also Aaron contradicted this on his show. Johnny goes on his show like Monday and says, I'm not doing Wednesday shows. Aaron can't afford it. That's what Johnny says. Aaron the next day is like, Johnny's going through a lot right now and he just can't do Wednesdays. It's like, what's going on? Like,
fucking idiots.
And also,
Can't get out of their
Gino's
own way.
coming
his
back this
friends.
week.
He puts words in his friends' mouths all the time. He did this to Kiki. He did it to Gino. They're stupid, so they're back lining up for it again. But he does this to friends and loved ones.
And
He did it
coaches.
to April.
Johnny's been so loyal to him too. That's wild.
He saved Johnny's life.
Reels coming in.
Yay, super chats.
Gifting 10 Who Are These Podcast memberships. Thank you very much, Reels. If you got gifted a membership, you can see 2 bonus episodes every single month. Go to the membership tab or community tab, and you'll see the links and also the live shows we do at WATP. I got one coming up tomorrow, 2 o'clock Eastern, with Blind Mike Geary and Lucy Tightbox. We'll be on WATP with me and producer Chris. Chris048, $5 says, I can't be cleared for murder until police rule out all other DNA in every other location on Earth. It's truly remarkable. And Neelax says, that wasn't a fire-up speech. It was a you're fired speech. I like it.
Yeah.
Well said. All right, let's get back to Aaron's cope. See how he's spinning this one.
We've all been yelled at in a pre-practice Scott speech.
Yeah, the difference is you weren't even there.
Yeah.
he's pissed at you and you weren't even there and he's yelling about you.
Yeah, he's yelling about you.
That's very different.
And he okayed it for some guy to live stream it so we can all watch it.
Yes.
And the yelling that he does at people, it's to improve them in some way. With you, he said, it's done. He's like, I'm done with this.
Yep.
There was a sense of finality in that speech.
Aaron is trying to turn this into, and those of us who played sports, I didn't realize that Patrick played football in middle school. That's amazing. So you get this. Like, yeah, if coaches like you and think you have potential, they'll drive you hard. That's kind of their job, right? And so Aaron's trying to spin this into, he just sees all the potential I have in a 38-year-old guy who's never won a match. So of course he's riding me.
But you also like getting this glimpse of Scott. You see how he's a guy that Aaron can manipulate. He's like this old shucks kind of like, I don't need this. I just want to have fun. I just want to run my little business, do my little gym. And you can kind of see from his personality in that small speech how Aaron steamrolls people with his reality.
Yeah, I agree with you.
How he could walk over Scott a little bit.
But how come the boxing gym isn't a sponsor of Aaron's show? You know he's had that discussion with Scott before.
Ooh, good call.
You know, like we can get free lessons, boxing lessons. I can give them out for $20. They're worth $50. It works really well with Shoney's.
This is boxing.
So in this one, Doom clipped it, and I'm like, oh boy, this must be really bad. And I watched the speech, and I'm like, this is nothing. I'm like, I was a little disappointed because usually when people clip something, they got something, especially Doom.
The speech was about how Aaron is fucking things up for himself and the gym by being so defiant of everything. And then he comes back on his show in response to that and says, it wasn't a big deal. I don't see what the fuss is about.
Yeah.
This is him. Like, we have to run this place like the military now because Aaron fucked it for all of you. Like, we have to really like make sure we're playing it by the book.
Right. Scott said, Aaron messed around with me. Never again. I'm done. Get the fuck out. And Aaron's like, all right, see you next week.
This is also one of Aaron's tells right here where he goes, Doom had a clip. And usually that's like groundbreaking stuff. Whereas he dismisses every clip the Clippers make about him. He's just, he never puts any value on it. And now all of a sudden, if there's a clip, it's damning.
Like he said before, like, I like Doom. If you don't like Doom, you're mentally ill. Like, Doom's a good guy. Doom's a good clipper. But it changes week to week. Like it
does, yeah, precisely.
Like everything else.
But this is him trying to get people to not even watch it. If you haven't seen it, don't watch it. It's nothing.
Right.
Nothing even happened in it.
you start to see the same pattern in all of his lives. Like, remember how he used to, when people said he was on drugs and swinging, he's like, I wish I was that cool. I wish that's what I did in my spare time. But
whoever turned Ricada in, like whoever did that's a hero. Like honestly, like people should do that. Like, was it you?
This is such a rare insight into reality and Aaron's representation of that. And then you can apply that same difference to everything else Aaron talks about. Tell me when I'm telling lies.
Okay, so we just heard him say that video was nothing. I don't even know why they posted it. No one cares. You'd be crazy to care about it.
And I watched this one and I'm
You're right. That's why it's the first segment of his show.
Because usually when people clip something, they got something, especially Doom. And I watched this one and I'm like, this is a nothing burger. That's my boy Scott. Fired up his before a practice. And he goes, Aaron really us. And I'm like, yep. That's Scott and I literally had that conversation.
You think if Aaron was at the gym when Scott was giving the speech, he'd put his hand up and be like, hey, Scott, this is a nothing burger.
Yeah, right. I don't know we're having this conversation. Can we start sparring now? This is so boring for everyone. So now Aaron's saying, like, he already had this conversation with Scott. So he's like, yeah, I mean, I already had this conversation. Of course I know about it. It's very different when you have a conversation with your boss who says, dude, you fucked me over. This is bad. And when the boss has a conversation with every other employee
Aaron fucked me over.
It says Aaron fucked me over. Like, I've had tough conversations with bosses before. If they brought that into the meeting and like repeated everything they said, I'd be like, what the fuck? That's not cool.
You guys are crazy. Scott and I wrote this speech yesterday.
I was like, tell them they're going to get beat like lollipops. And Scott was like, that's good. Yeah. I'm using that.
What's great is like he needs that gym and boxing so bad. He thinks we care. Like, we don't care.
No.
But he's just like, you wish I wasn't at the gym. It's like, I guess. I don't know. Like,
I love a good nothing burger. It's right between pasta buckets and the DQ Grill and Chill.
Oh my God, a restaurant called Nothing Burger.
That's the food truck that he had at his live event.
Scott, when you say this, don't actually say shit. Spell it out. So when the clip. Oh, sorry. Sorry.
You don't have to scream anymore.
I forgot.
He's literally 2 feet from my ear.
Duh! But that's how I do the Aaron impression.
Just talk.
Sorry. I lost it.
Sorry. I was going deaf.
That's Scott and I literally had that conversation that day. People were getting fired up. They're like, this is it. This is the thing we finally got. And I watched it with all these expectations. And I'm like, that's it? That's the best you guys got?
Such a straw man. He says everything is the thing we think is going to bring him down. It's like, no, the pylon's funnier than ever bringing it down. It's watching you carry the weight of all this shit.
Also, so he goes on there and he goes, oh, is that all you guys got? I mean, it is what it is. Someone didn't invent this to like try to take him down. This happened, and now it's online, and we've all seen it. Like, it's just reality. Oh, all you guys got is reality? Yeah, that's all any of us have. That's what everyone's dealing with in this world. It's reality.
If you want to go back 10 frames, you can input that face into a machine learning algorithm for Defiant. Like that's what face? Defiance looks like. Like a teacher telling off a kid, and that's how they respond. It's like, just
because I'm fucking up the guy's entire business? Oh.
When I came home and April had left her ring on the table and taken all her clothes, I went, that's it?
That's all you got? Just going to leave me for the guy that I introduced you to? That's all you got? Okay.
So I saw the amount of cum Nick put on April, and I'm like, that's it?
Please, sir, may I have some more?
That's the best you guys got? So it turned into part of my research for steel-toed derangement syndrome. Scott was fired up before practice. Scott and I talk every day, and we'll talk again today.
Yeah, he doesn't want to talk to you every day. You work 2 days a week max, usually 1 day a week. You talk to him every day. He's just like, fucking Aaron's calling me again. Oh, hey, Aaron, what's up?
No, it turns into telephone time from Bye Bye Birdie. It's like, hi, Scotty. Hi, Aaron.
Right.
Well, I heard you got banned. I think. Oh, fuck it off. That was a good one.
I didn't think it could be more of a nothing burger. But then I realized, if you've got steel-toed derangement syndrome, you just watch shit differently. But then also a lot of these guys, I think, with steel-toed derangement syndrome don't have dads. Like they don't have a lot of male interaction, and they don't have a lot of that fire up. And a lot of them probably didn't do a lot of sports stuff.
Okay.
We don't have dads. Hello, Kevin Brennan.
So this is the laziest possible insult you can do, is when you just make up things about people. And this is the, oh, they live in their mom's basement. This is the, you live in your mom's basement approach to a blanket thing. Where like, there's thousands of people who goof on me. Thousands. It's 1,400 right now watching this. And all of them don't have dads that didn't play sports and are losers and live with their parents still. It's like, Aaron, you're making all of this up in your head. Like, this is not describing people. There's people who run companies. There's people who have really important jobs in their lives and are raising amazing families and have children.
Aaron, all of us live in houses with our wives.
Right. Yeah, well, there's that too.
And my dad watches my show and goes, what the fuck is up with that steel toe guy?
My dad asks me some questions too from time to time about it.
If anyone else did this steel-toe derangement syndrome bit, I think like Rocco would have some crazy video like promo for it. Dr. Steve would do like a medical like deep dive into like what causes it. It's super funny. I'd have a jingle or something. Everyone else would like make this a real segment on their show. He does the laziest shortcut.
Yep.
To anything ever. And next week there'll be something else.
Yep.
Aw, steel toe derangement syndrome stunts your growth and gives you a stupid accent.
Right. He had the seed, no pun intended, of a good idea of STDs turning into AIDS. Like that's like a funny nugget.
We were saying that before. That's the most clever thing he's come up with in like 2 years.
Too bad
And he repeats it every episode.
Stevie Lou came
Yeah,
up
now
with
it's Stevie Lou's idea.
Probably.
I can't stop looking at those two little daddy long leg fucking.
I didn't see that thing. Oh shit.
Like yelling and screaming and vitriol and passion and all that, that's all part of the deal. You know? That's just all part of the deal. So
can I remind everyone that most people who have this derangement syndrome that he's talking about are not us on This Little Piggy. It's the people who are in the chat or on a Discord. And Aaron can tell they're yelling and screaming and have vitriol when they're just typing things to him or about him.
Again,
impressive.
Do you think the whole dad thing goes back to Scott? Like, Aaron doesn't, or he didn't talk to his dad for so long. So do you think Scott replaced his dad for a little bit?
That's my boy Scott.
Yeah.
It is? Why are you talking about me like that? I'd be upset.
But Scott
Yeah, right.
way older.
Yeah, good point.
It wasn't supposed to be steel-toe derangement syndrome research, but it did turn into steel-toe derangement syndrome research. I have to let you know, no matter how much you think you're just doing this for fun, you're watching a live stream of a small town's boxing practice because you need more Aaron.
No,
you have an affliction.
Right, yeah. None of us were watching that.
I was watching this. That was
thank
me.
you, Moody, for doing that.
Addressed me.
Yeah,
thank you. It's fine. Like I got what I was looking for, which was that speech from Scott.
We were confident you were interested in the subject.
Aaron's so out of it. It wouldn't shock me if he launched next week's shirts that say STDs on it. Like, why aren't these selling? It's like when Chad made those mud tard shirts, but they still had a shark for some reason. It's like this doesn't make any sense.
Also, it's like not a lot of effort to have a third screen that is playing a video while you do other stuff. Like you don't have to be sitting there watching.
Oh, now
like,
Moody's getting defensive.
Go.
Moody's getting defensive right now.
Right. No, look, guys, I just don't want to have AIDS.
I have important jobs over here, guys. I'm doing a lot of things over here, I swear.
I had fun. I'm good. I'm not sorry.
We've diagnosed it. It's steel-toed derangement syndrome. Now you can work on treating yourself. Or you can get to full-blown AIDS, which is Aaron Imholt derangement syndrome. So,
raising money to get the cure, but we can treat ourselves? So is the cure a ripoff?
It's all very confusing. I think he's still flushing this one out. I don't think he's got it figured out just yet. Oh, I want to point out real quick before I forget. Adam Bush, I was on WATP this week and noticed that Aaron's complexion is the same color as the paint on the wall behind him. And maybe that's why his head is right in the middle of that steel toe logo thing. Because otherwise you wouldn't notice that there's a guy, it'd just be a shirt talking in front of a microphone.
It's always some color called like universal beige.
He looks like he looks like the Virgin Mother.
Yes.
Right, yeah, it's the patron saint of goals.
video doesn't really change anything.
Oh, I love that. So this is Aaron setting the narrative. I don't know if Aaron's into like creating narratives at all, but it seems like he's doing this right now. By the way, guys, you saw that video right there, which proved that I was lying about everything and that my relationship with Scott is very different than how I portray it. And that didn't change anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
And again, pulls a defiant like this. The key word is defiant. This.
I mean, it actually doesn't change anything because we still don't respect Aaron and think he's a liar. So it actually doesn't change anything.
I mean, the fact that it made you open your show with this means it did change something.
Yes, correct.
However, you're not focusing on the win for the toe here, in that video proved that he was a coach.
If it didn't change anything, why am I looking at a Polaroid of the February 22nd boxing event and Aaron's fading out of it right now?
It's like Back to the Future.
Talk to Scott again today. As soon as this process is over, I can get back to work, and I'm really excited. Still go to the gym. I can still get.
Whoa. As soon as this process is over, I can get back to work. I thought he was coaching.
Peterson said.
He was coaching. He was coaching through all of this. I thought it didn't matter, and now he can't until he gets this figured out, which could be months. I got to rewind and watch him with this. Yeah,
it's like
when
he's
you're
like
a jet.
He's going to a rumble. He's going to rumble.
We definitely are making way too many musical references on the show.
I'm happy. This is my
I'm worried about
spot.
us.
Video doesn't really change anything. Talk to Scott again today. As soon as this process is over, I can get back to work, and I'm really excited. Still go to the gym. I can still get my work in. I can still.
I talked to USA Boxing today. They said this should be cleared up in about 525,600 minutes.
All right. This is the gayest episode we've ever done in this show. It's official.
Yep.
Still train and do all that stuff. It's just, come on. Let's get this shit done. We know what the end of this is. Let's just get to that part. The only thing is when they call you, you can't
USA. His USA boxing rep is like, yeah, we filed this under horse shit, but there's just
right, yeah. Formality.
End of this is, let's just get to that part. The only thing is when they call you, you can't be like that. When they call me, I'm very yes sir, no sir, you know, this and that. You can't be like
serious.
That is another lie based on what we just saw Scott saying, that he was disrespectful, he was defiant. He's like, I, as an attorney, I don't know what to do with this guy.
Right.
He's got a felony charge against him. They do a background check, and he's telling him to fuck off. And so now Aaron's like completely flipping that 180 and going, yeah, I mean, I'm super respectful when they call, and I'm like, yes sir, no sir. Obviously not, because Scott's pissed at you about this specific thing. I got to back that up.
You're making things up again, Aaron.
Are we all going for this now? Is that I'm waiting for Tukey to break
out.
down.
Trying to find his purpose.
We know what the end of this is.
It's Avenue Q. It's a puppet. It's very good.
Yeah, you should know Avenue Q too.
I don't like puppets.
Let's just get to that part. The only thing is when they call you, you can't be like that. When they call me, I'm very yes sir, no sir, you know, this and that. You can't be like, hey, come on, let's go, you know. I believe in the business, they call it playing the game. So
this is Aaron just trying to, And you could tell he did watch that video. Because now he's trying to cover for himself and be like, yeah, no, I'm very respectful and I'm professional when I talk to these people at USA Boxing. And I say, yeah, I realize this takes time and you guys do what you have to do your due diligence, and we'll get this figured out.
The
I
judge
tell you.
loved me, the prosecutor.
That's the latest update. It did turn into steel-toed derangement syndrome research. Jack Cat with $5.
Okay, so he takes this off the screen real quick. I'll tell you what it says. Let me back that up. I'll tell you what this chat says. It says, I don't know, man, LOL. Just play the Doom clip. So I think what this is referring to is he doesn't have the derangement syndrome. Like, why aren't you playing this clip on your show?
Show us how
I believe in the business they call it playing the game. So that's the latest update. It did turn into steel-toed derangement syndrome research. Jack Cat with $5.
All right, so he's going to take this off the screen as quick as possible.
Oh, my God, Jack Cat, you are losing it. Losing it.
Here?
They're losing their minds. Balls deep.
See, this is his example of someone who's got the derangement syndrome and is losing their minds because they just super chatted him. Like, okay, man, just play the
Can you
fucking
show
clip
us?
then. Yeah,
Can you
show us what you're
show
talking
us?
about. Right.
What a loser.
Yeah, what a lunatic he is.
Deep says all fatherless. Yeah, I think a lot of it's fatherlessness. I think that's a big part of it. They'll be all right. They'll get.
I haven't been in his Rumble chat in a really long time, and he's on Rumble now because he's banned from YouTube.
Yeah, he's
live
off.
streaming for a
I'm
week.
never going to get to that, but he's out
Yeah,
for
right.
a week, right?
Yeah. He
Hold on, what? For what?
Yeah, okay.
So
I
he
didn't know
claims it's because an Alyssa Jordana clip was struck from about a year
months ago. Yeah. When Alyssa did the thing.
For a guy who's obsessed and lives all of my online life, like I had no clue this happened.
It's
What?
coming up later in this video. He talks to Gino about it.
But there's been claims from other people that have said that they had reported him for the gun stuff again earlier in the week. You know, like
you
the last
pointed
2
out
weeks.
you pointed out on NLO this week that he's still promoting the was it ammo? Is that what he was promoting? You can't do it's against their terms of
And there's
service.
hundreds. He mentioned guns again too during the ad.
Oh no!
There's hundreds of shows with it in it. It's like
Yeah. So apparently, and we're running long. Thanks guys for hanging out. We're
I
at
gotta piss so
6:15.
bad. Wrap it up, Karl.
Okay. I do want to finish this because Aaron starts to get cute right here, and then we'll wrap things up. But yes, his YouTube channel's gone for a week. He says, and he's just like, yeah, this happens every once in a while. They go back and they flag
all of
things. It's never happened to me. I'm knock on wood, but I don't know what he's talking about.
You heard him, guys. Karl, don't fuck with Karl's channel, everybody. Don't
Fuck.
Get over it. They need their dad. They need steel toe. I think that.
Okay, so this is where Aaron gets cute, and I think being cute Aaron is my least favorite. Now, we didn't even get to his new personality this week, which his new personality is the most obnoxious version of him. Yeah, it's pompous Aaron. Pompous, give me your fucking money. You owe me Aaron, which is, by the way, Blind Mike did that version of you first and better. But I hate cute Aaron right here.
That's part of steel-toed derangement syndrome. I think there's a little bit of a daddy complex in there. What I don't understand is why don't they understand counter trolling? Like when I do this and I smile at them and I talk shit to them, they go in a chat and they go, "You piece of shit, you're a garbage human being."
Hold on, does he not? He doesn't know what trolling is. Smiling at us is not trolling.
He's counter trolling. That's how he was smiling as his counter trolling.
Yeah,
Patrick.
I think that frames this whole video perfectly. It's saying that his response to Scott is just counter trolling. It's not real.
Right.
He's just playing the heel.
Yes. And we don't get it. That's the thing about all these detractors. None of us get it, man. We're not on the same page as this guy.
With you. Like it's really super light teasing and saying you have a disease. That
also, I want to point this out. So think about like you're a bully in school, right? And there's certain people you pick on. And you like to shove their head in the toilet, or you like to steal their lunch money or whatever. Could you imagine what Aaron is saying is just like,
When did you go
dude,
to school? 60s?
yes, of course, like we all did. And Aaron's sitting there going to his boys, just like, dude, you're obsessed with me. That's all you think about is me. It's really weird. It's really, I don't know, man. I think you got a problem. Like, all you want to do is like tease me. And, yeah, like, what's your deal? What's up with that? It's like, you don't understand how any of this works if that's your comeback to this.
By the way, doesn't exist.
Oh, this is where he's being cute. He's like, by the way, this steel-toed derangement system, it's not a thing.
We didn't know. He had to change his whole cope because it used to be when he had April, he would just write everybody off as like, you're just jealous I'm with April. You just want to fuck April.
Right.
Now he's had to like flip everything on him only, and it's like a totally different.
Makes no sense.
This is the funniest part about these people. You can tell them exactly what you're doing. Somebody tweeted this at me yesterday. They're like, you know what's amazing is you trigger the of these people. Meanwhile, you tell them exactly what you're doing while you're doing it.
Yeah, and you're terrible at it. We tell you suck at it.
He thinks us doing this show is us triggered. No,
right.
This is what you're doing is triggered.
Right, yes.
You're triggered by the boxing video. That's what you're doing. This is a scheduled program.
Seething is what Coach Scott was doing in that video.
Yes, right.
You guys triggered Old Faithful again. It's like, no, that goes off on a regular interval. It's not triggered. It's like
I hadn't been in his Rumble chat before, just because he's on Rumble now. But while he's talking about all this steel-toe derangement syndrome and all of that, there's a guy called McBuster in his chat, which you've heard him speak to a few times. This guy, every 30 seconds, was writing these long messages to no one about Patrick being a pedophile, just one after the other. Links.
Whoa.
Here's the just.
If you don't remember history, you're doomed to forget it.
But it's like during this talk about derangement syndrome and being obsessed with people, it's just he's talking to no. It was wild to see.
I'm going to get caught up. You guys have been hanging along with me. I appreciate it. If you have to go, I understand.
No, the point of that, I think, is that Aaron's constantly defending real things that are happening to him, real things that are affecting his life. And detractors like that are after me for something that's made up. And I don't even defend. I'm not worried about anybody thinking that who has a brain. So I don't even.
Right.
But Aaron's constantly defending stuff that there's actual facts.
Yeah, it's
prove you're lying.
We might have steel-toe derangement syndrome. He's got felony charges.
I'd say fascination syndrome. I'll agree to that. Steel-toe fascination.
No,
absolutely fascinated
for sure. I spend more time watching Aaron than I should because I don't enjoy his program. So yes,
right.
There's something going on there. There's something to be researched for sure. Cornball $5 says nothing burgers as big as your head. Brian Johnson, you guys ran into Brian Johnson at the Borgata earlier.
Yes.
So I sent him the link, but he's probably, he's on.
Yeah, I understand. He just checked
on
in,
vacation, but he's coming in with one.
Patty, some kids were outside playing with sidewalk chalk, and then I ate their sidewalk chalk. Now my lips are all bluey. Help!
I too eat sidewalk chalk.
Well played. I like that. Vinny Paulino's getting involved in that.
Memories all alone on my night stream. I can smile at the old goals. Nick's cum was beautiful then.
Everyone's going to get on the musical theme we have on today's show. This might be our new thing. Anonymous says, if gun stuff is against YouTube terms of service, how do all these giant gun channels survive? Well, because they're not promoting sales of
or
not selling.
I think if you don't monetize the program too, I think.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that. I just know that you can't advertise.
Right.
It can't be a promotional thing that you're doing.
Yeah, what's the point of YouTube if you're not monetized? I thought it was all about money. Yeah,
money before funny.
Mm-hmm.
I learned about that.
Yeah, that previous super chat should have been memories all alone in the moonlight.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Vito's Cradle says, so Aaron sees Steve as a father figure. Sad.
Who's Steve?
I think Scott is who people are thinking of here.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Right? Mm-hmm. Hellraiser69. Wait, I don't have a dad? I know. I was surprised too. I thought I just saw a hockey game with him last week. I was like, what? What just happened? Holy shit. Pass says, Karl, you hear Shuley new. Hashtag Shuley new. I'm curious about that whole campaign that they have going on.
They're trying. He was saying that in my show too. And she's like, I don't know. Like, okay, then what?
Yeah, right. I'm curious what was supposed to happen. Like, supposed to save children from being trafficked? I don't know.
Like, you all know about me and you're still watching.
Good point. The Truth Seeker knows. Aaron was paid to play Scotty clip on Rumble Friday. Okay, I'm glad you're saying this because
I told you don't do it.
I can't believe someone wouldn't give him 10 or 20 bucks to play this. So Aaron was paid. So if you don't know, Aaron's show on Fridays, and apparently Gino's back on it too, but you give him $5, $10, or $20 and he has to play your video. And the way he prioritizes it or how long he'll play it for is based on how much money you give him.
Yeah, he'll play any video for $5. He'll play it immediately if you send 10. And if you send 20, he'll play it immediately. And he'll have to play the whole video up
to 10 minutes.
Oh, 10 now. Okay, sorry.
Which is a fantastic deal.
It is. It's weird that advertisements on his show are $400, but also advertisements on his show are $20 or $5.
Right. Yeah. Aaron was paid to play the Scotty clip on Rumble Friday clip day. He refused to, called one person obsessed and deleted and blocked everyone else who paid. See, this is where his narrative falls apart.
I refunded more money than Aaron makes in 2 days today.
Oh, no. Naturally negative $10 says, good show, my skibbity rizzlers.
Good work.
Thank you. I did it this time. Someone reminds Steel Toe that Trump derangement syndrome applies because he's literally a god king. Anthony Nobodius don't get their own mental illness. Did I get close to that, do you think?
I know what he's trying to say.
I understand what he's trying to say. Like, Trump actually has power. People are afraid of Trump because he can deport people who came in here illegally and like do a bunch of shit and get rid of USAID.
Did you hear that, Moody?
Yes. Whereas, so there's a reason for Trump derangement syndrome. Whereas Aaron can't do anything for anyone. Like it's just like if I can just stop watching it at any time. It doesn't
Aaron
matter.
can't pay his kids with the state mandates. Like Aaron's useless.
So watching Aaron causes STDs and AIDS, yes. I'm here to confirm that.
It's
Flashy Vic.
Communicable.
Put Harrison Young's theme with that finger click in. Oh shit. You are onto something with that. I wonder if I still have my version of
I gotta pee,
Harrison
wrap
Young.
it up.
All right. We're wrapping it up. Someone's got to pee. Someone didn't use the potty before we left.
You got a bird
Melton,
there.
Melton makes you feel. I wish I had that jingle. You heard Aaron doing that now, right? Where he's like, "Oh yeah, everyone's saying I'm making them feel."
like Aaron.
Yeah.
Someone
no one
told
makes
me it
them
was actually a
emote.
Stevie Lou tweet too. Somebody told me that Stevie Lou started that. No one makes them feel like Aaron, and then Aaron was like, "This is great, Stevie Lou. Do you want to be a writer?"
Whose side is Stevie Lou on? Chris Angler, I swear, I just went to my dad's birthday party. I thought I had a father too. I remember growing up with him. There's
dead.
pictures.
They're all gone. They're all gone. They
that
either
sucks.
left or died.
That's a
And my
bummer,
dad
man.
did decide to get cancer, so he didn't have to raise me.
That's the guy who's thinking ahead right there. Holy shit, what a fun episode.
I'll take the easy road.
Guys, I want to thank Patrick and Rocco for coming on from Atlantic City. You guys stopped having gay sex for over 2 hours now to be on the show
We
with
didn't
us.
stop.
Oh. That's true. The puppet only needs one of the hands.
That lump feels good on my back. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's a spot.
This is how he made.
That's gonna be a gift.
This is how he mates everyone. Wait till Red Bar gets a hold of that.
That's how we get.
I actually bend over and new ones pop out of me like gremlins.
That's how we get a new Tukey.
Oh wow, this has been fun. Moody, you kicked ass this week, buddy.
Thank you.
Congratulations. You gave us.
It's been
so much fun, or I didn't even get to it all.
It's been a good week for my fellow STDs.
Yeah, the problem with it is like so much is going on, like between the Chad Kevin stuff and the Aaron stuff. It's like, and then you're traveling, so like I can't keep up.
But Patrick, you don't understand. Stuttering John this week also had the craziest fucking week, and him and Rob Saul. There's way too much going on right now. I can't keep up with any of it.
Is John coming? Do you know?
He says he is. I doubt it. I bet he's lying. My guess is that he's lying, but he says he is.
I've seen him show up places he said before.
Well, he said that someone paid. He said that someone paid for his hotel and his flight. If that's true,
if I know John, he'll be at the Borgata Tuesday going, they all left. They wouldn't come out of their room.
Well, so he said that he was coming to Atlantic City to settle his score with Pinky and Chadley. Like, that's his main thing, which I was surprised at. I'm pretty sure he wants to murder Rocco still from last year.
Like last year, he tried to fight both of us. So
we're not
even ask him a question. I have a question for him.
What do you got?
Oh, I mean, you heard it.
Oh,
I gotta ask that question.
I thought you wrote a second question.
Never queef in your face.
Yeah.
I thought you wrote a second question, Rocco.
But I want to ask that one again. What?
You're like, they came out with Pac-Man. It was a hit, so they came out with Miss Pac-Man. It's like, what? Yeah, what's your follow-up? What else you got? He's got nothing.
Basically, Rocco and I are like pretty much like Aaron Emho. We can't get on the card. He's just coming to fight Chad and Kevin.
Yeah, we didn't even get into that. That now he's saying that like the guy he's boxing they can't get a hold of, so it's probably not going to happen.
Put this into like the guy didn't want to box me because he knows about my record.
He said the guy is what 6'7", 240 or something like that. What did he say? The guy he was fighting was like this really tall guy. He's like, I love it. I love punching tall guys. I'm going to kill him.
He weighs more than him. Yeah, he's like, I like boxing fat guys. That's what he said.
Crazy.
Anyway, he said he'd have everything cleared up by the end of the weekend last week. That didn't happen. So maybe it'll all be done by this little piggy.
All right, we got one more super tip coming in. Thank you very much.
Yo, my knickers. I'm still behind the dumpster at the Borgata. That fat fuck Melton and that fucking puppet have rooms. How unfair they didn't help me get normal person status at this non-event.
Joey, if you need a PJSC to stay, come to my mobile fun dungeon. I'll rock those dirty Italian buttocks all night long.
Wow. A lot of people hooking up on this show today. It's exciting. I'm happy for them. It's going well. Happy everyone's having a good time. Let's get the fuck out of here, guys. Have a great weekend in Atlantic City. Go football.
Yeah, we're going to have some more shows. Maybe we'll do a show tonight. We'll definitely have a show tomorrow. We're thinking possibly about going down to the Tennessee Beer Hall and doing a show tomorrow night.
Nice. I love it.
Get the real story from the people there.
Are you going to sell tickets?
What?
Are you going to sell tickets to your show?
No, we'll just do it for free.
No, you should give anyone
$1,200.
No, anyone who has an Eventbrite ticket should get on the show. Like allow them to come up and be on the show for a few minutes.
Yeah, sure.
That would give people an incentive who are going to go anyway to come down.
All 7 of them?
Well, I know a few of them.
A lot of tickets.
Like we have a lot of the tickets.
I wanted this to happen so bad. It sucks.
I didn't want to
so
spell
bad.
like how many tickets I know of that weren't being used because I didn't want him to be like, all right, well, we can sell another 15. Like we'll be like the airlines. We'll just overbook it.
Right.
I know personally of about 22 tickets.
Holy shit.
Not being used.
Holy shit. Oh, Chad, this would have been embarrassing, my friend. You dodged a bullet. Congratulations. All right. For
Thank
Moody,
you.
for Patrick Melton from Nobody Likes Onions, from Tukey Soup, I'm Karl Hamburger saying Gagia.
There's a show in town, it's going down. Every week we're back on solid ground. Steel toe slipping, but we're gripping. Got the tea to spill, it's always flipping. From April's script to Aaron's glee. Oh, this drama's just a spree. Polydrama, legal trauma. Another win, oh, that's the karma. This little piggy went to YouTube. This little piggy's on Rumble.